So enigmatic and charismatic, gotta live static, gotta get at it, never pragmatic, cause we live tragic. I can't live average, to be alive's magic. Turn it up in the back cause I'm grabbing everything I want, get in my way and I'm stabbing. I'll be moving crowds till I'm 6 feet napping. They need another fix, hooked on like an addict. I got my eyes on the prize and it's changing lives. I wanna live till I die, make a difference, right? I wanna give those in need a reason to fight. I wanna live every day like it's my last night. I wanna change how we play the game, rearrange all the pieces till they say my name, push an agenda against doing what they say. I wanna stand up and start a revolution. I wanna 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 start a revolution.
Breaking news out of Placer County. 16-year-old Kylie Rodney.
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 Kylie Rodney is
Kylie Rodney.
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 Kylie Rodney. Kylie Rodney. Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney. Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney. Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Rodney.
Kylie Myra.
Kylie Rodney.
Kylie. Kylie.
Kylie Rodney.
What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing tonight? Blessings. So, look, my brain must work overtime. Let me just explain to you, okay? Y'all see what I got going on here, all these tabs here. I am non-stop always sleuthing in the background of things. Then on top of that, I have this web browser that's open and this web browser that's open. We're going to go through some of this because I found something in these pictures that just, I don't know, is real triggering for me. So we're going to get through that. But for whatever reason, I guess it's just I always have so much on my mind. I probably shouldn't fall asleep to the stuff that I do. I fall asleep to Rumble, a lot of Rumble at night. And I usually wake up anywhere between like 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And I get out of bed, which I probably shouldn't do. I go to the bathroom. And then I spend time on my computer researching things, looking at things. But for whatever reason, I had chose YouTube last night when I laid down. And this video woke me out of my sleep. This video is a guy that is, I'm going to assume that he has background in aviation and stuff like that. But he is going over a video about this guy that was actually harassed by local law enforcement. Local law enforcement happens to be Pima County Sheriff's Department. But what really triggered me was, one, let me make this full screen so y'all can see what I'm looking at. I was looking at the display of what this guy is saying, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna play a little clip of what this guy is just talking about.
The authorities were alerted, and then the authorities put a bird in the air with FLIR technology, which is forward-looking infrared, which Pima County has, and they spent $7.5 million on it. And here's some of the technology right here. It says,
and then this guy just sent me down a rabbit hole. But the issue that I'm having is looking at the display of this FLIR system. I understand, like, I don't want people thinking that I believe FLIR can see through water, because I know that it can't. There is no way, once you submerge even your hand in water, the only thing you'll notice is like purple and black outlines of things. That's not the reason why I'm showing you this video. What you can't see at the top here is it lists the name of the department that's using the program, the latitude, longitude, the speed of which they're going, which is in knots, the altitude that they're at, the date, the time, and then it tells you right here that they're what is being used, what is being armed, which is all of their LiDAR system. Then I also noticed here that they have HD infrared active on this screen as well. And then there was a part in this video that just, it triggered me awake, and I started thinking, yes, Pima County, Arizona. Absolutely right, Jade. Absolutely right, honey. It's good to see you all tonight. I see Katie Bugs in the audience tonight. Anna Lester's up in Alana Lester's in the audience. Peg, it's good to see you. Look at all these people I haven't seen in quite a while. I miss you all. I apologize that I did not go live on Friday. I've been having a lot of health issues with my nerve damage that is spreading. It's made it to my entire leg. So I'm in pain a lot of the day. But it still doesn't stop me from trying to focus on research and doing what I need to do. I do apologize that I did not go live Friday or this weekend. Phoenix was home. I spent some time with him as needed. But yeah, Katie Bug, it shows all of the data right there on the screen. It not only tells you the GPS coordinates of the helicopter, but it also tells you this target range that's right here. It tells you the GPS coordinates, latitude and longitude, of what object they're looking at. And if it's moving, it tells you the speed in mile per hour. Okay, which is pretty, I mean, it's phenomenal technology. What I don't think people understand is this technology was rapidly put out between 2009 and 2011, just to give you an idea of how long it's truly been out there. And it's not just FLIR, it's not just LiDAR, it's not, the technologies have been there for a very long time in Silicon Valley. They really have. But what really blew me away was, if you go to this guy's video, which I'm going to share not only the link to this video for you guys to watch should you want to, I'm also going to drop the link to the video of the guy that actually did the research. He did this investigation of this Tucson man that law enforcement tried to claim in a lawsuit that he was just paranoid. Well, he FOIA'd all of this information, and it turns out that they were literally harassing, stalking, and breaking laws to watch this man. It was crazy. And then I'm also going to copy the link to the original guy who did it, Reluctant Prophet. But I want to go back up to this video because there's a reason why I'm showing you all this.
Infrared, which Pima County has, and they spent $7.5 million on it. And here's some of the technology right here. It says Hangar 1 Avionics has successfully completed and delivered a new custom whatever model Eurocopter to Pima County. This is just one of the three.
And for anybody that does not know, Hangar 1 is out of Moffett, which is out of San Francisco. That's all I'm going to say on that.
3 brand new aircrafts they got so they could put the bird in the air and do this kind of thing to the citizens in Pima County. Check this out.
And Survey 1, I think we're going to have gold Prius at the front gate to his house.
And then him saying Prius also sent me down another rabbit hole. I've been looking into Priuses because it's... I think Sammy driving a Prius is really important when it comes to the following morning, Nick tow truck guy, and what gear this vehicle has. I'm going to send you guys down a rabbit hole tonight of thinking, don't worry. I'm going to skip through on this video because there's... Okay. So what they can do between... I wish it would just do it. Between this imaging right here is they can turn different infrareds. They can scope through a whole bunch of different infrared LiDAR technologies, okay? So they can do it just so like a light source, they can change it over and it'll shift to just grayscale with green to show you artificial light sources, like, for instance, like headlights, we'll just say. Then they also have another system which turns slightly purplish in hues that will pick up only like the colors of tail lights, okay? I was also watching underwater footage of them trying to search rivers for cars and stuff like that. And although like it can make out people in the water, it's just water kind of ruins the technology, which, I mean, this cover-up is pretty genius in the scale of things. So then there's this part here, and I'm just going to mute this so we're not listening to all this. There's this part here. I just showed you where it turned to green. Okay, right here. This is where it blocks out the target area. And they can also see how this has changed here. So they can change the equalizer of the high def infrared. They can switch between the focus. This is like a focus manual, and they can focus near and far is what it is. And then they can adjust the exposure. And that's what they've done here is they've tanked the exposure down, made sure all of these infrared types are armed, and they changed the image so that you can just see taillights. I'm just trying to explain what this FLIR system actually, the technology actually does. All right, I think y'all ready. And then I watched this whole video. This guy explains how legally he was able to FOIA specific flight paths on specific days. I'm just going to keep researching. I'm going to keep putting FOIAs in. I'll wait for them if I have to, if they need to keep buying time. Because I notice what they do is I'll put a FOIA in, and they'll wait till like that 9th day. And they'll be like, oh, you need to be a little more specific in what you need. And then when I get specific, like they fuck around for that next 24 hours. Till they're finally like, okay, I got you. Or they deny you right on spot. But when they finally agree to giving you this specific information, like they'll buy another 14 days per FOIA laws in California. They'll buy that additional 14 days to redact, alter, whatever, manipulate, whatever you want to call those, you know. Hold on a second, I gotta take a hit. I gotta do this because I need a break from politics. I ain't worried no more. I've been actually making some MAGA squirrels with AI and stuff like that. I might make a new intro, I'm not sure. I got a lot going on. I'm doing a lot of things all at once. All right, so it really got me thinking, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go through pictures again. And I did. And I got more questions. I got to figure out how I'm going to word this. So that specific law enforcement is held accountable and forced to reopen this investigation. Yep. I did do MAGA squirrels. You want to see a little... Look, check this out. I can't believe I'm about to show you these little... Here, I'll show you one. I was cracking up because the one kind of looked like Trump from behind. I was giggling. I said I wasn't going to do politics, but this shit kind of makes me giggle. I ain't gonna lie. Alright. Let's just do this one, because this one's really silly. Dude, y'all, I love it. Look. It looked like some 1776 shit. That's what's up. Alright, there's one. I don't know, I have a lot of them. I did a lot of them. Anyway. So, Kylie's car. I've really been examining it because I think this vehicle was in a car accident before it was put in the water. Furthermore, I'm going to make the allegation. I'm not sure who did it, who done it, where's Waldo, or any of those things. But considering Nick Tow Truck Guy's story, which I think there's a little manipulation there as well. You can't trust certain sides of brackets with MK mind control and manipulation. Knowing now that there were laws put in place under Obama that allow them to misinform the masses and get away with it blows my fucking mind. I said I wasn't going to get into politics, but I can't help it. This is political. I'm sorry, but it is. This was a political move to cover up the death of Kylie Rodney. Very much so. So just in looking at her car, I've been observing a lot of things like this dent. So none of these dents to her vehicle have collision marks, okay? I don't even want to call this her vehicle because I have issues. Anyway, so if you look at this vehicle, you can, for anybody that has looked at these pictures, I'm about to start a new country who's in. I'm in as long as it, look, I wouldn't even care if it was an island. It's just Epstein kind of ruined the islands for me. I don't know why. I'm down for it. I'll be like the entertainer and mascot. It's the best I got. I mean, I could teach you to garden, but you probably might be able to teach me some things. Who knows? No, it's not photoshopped. And that's the thing is, the more I look at all of the data, all of the investigation, the only things that are photoshopped in this stuff is what law enforcement did. Covering up things, putting little black boxes on there, putting words over the top of it, leaving timestamps out. It's just odd. We're going to get into a whole bunch of things. And then I got a video, because that video right there, actually, we'll watch that first because it'll make more sense. And then we'll get into all these pictures because y'all, I'm telling you, some real fucked up shit's happening. This investigation, CHP has to know that this was not an accident. And this is all I'm going to have to play for you. Like, I don't know how dumb you have to fucking be to not see this. All right, this is August 9th, 2022. I took the audio out of it because it's fucking horrendous. But I want you guys to look at this video, okay? First issues that I have, okay? Instead of it saying what department is using this, it just says FLIR Systems, okay? It's just odd as hell. There's a lot of fucky shit going on here. Anyway, so I'm just gonna take it clear back to the very beginning. So this is the first opening scene of this cut, directly from CHP. So you have the FLIR Systems, their coordinates. This would be the coordinates of the target, which is, you'll notice in these crosshairs that there's another small, it's sad that I got to learn this shit on my own because law enforcement's not doing their job, but here we are. So this is the main crosshair. And then you'll notice that there is a tracking crosshair that will every once in a while toggle out because it sees a moving object. And you'll see it kind of pan out. Okay? And it's just the AI is detecting the speed of whatever it's targeted on or whatever, what have you. Okay? So this FLIR right off the jump, whatever this is focusing on, I don't know if this is a duck or whatever it is, it's claiming that it's going 21 mile an hour. I don't know, that's weird as hell. That's off already. So then you have the plane's altitude, which is currently at 6,123 feet. And then the elevation at where they're at is 5,745 feet. Sorry if I'm explaining this to you kind of like at school, but I'm just teaching you what I've learned today, or I've noticed today. So the date on here is August 9th, 2022, and this is 3:18:32 seconds in the day. It's 3 in the afternoon. It's odd for how many helicopters flew over this bitch. This is the only place that's offering up their scans. You know what I mean? It's odd. Didn't want anybody talking about any of the flight paths, which is bothersome of what happened. Somebody spooked Tennessee Yankee. He spooked out so bad, which I still think he's Don B with the sided T or whatever his name is. Because in the Wayback Machine, if you go click on one of the Tennessee Yankee links that take you to the YouTube, most of them will say that this account has been deleted. But there's one thing there that if you click on it, it takes you to Don B's. Sorry, it does. I would love for Don B to release the flight paths. If not, I'll get them. I'll eventually get them through a FOIA. They cannot withhold that information. It does not. The only thing I'm going to have issues with is like the underwater drone footage, the underwater video footage, any of the footage that FBI blah 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 has taken. So I'm noticing right off the cuff, which I need to figure out what exactly all of these mean. I know this is RF. I'm not sure what the P stands for, LPC. If anybody knows, please let me know. And then the LI is LiDAR, which is a they're all forms of infrared. I know that. RF, LI, that's okay. But then I noticed like this HDEO is different from the other thingy. And I watch when he changes his focus from manual to whatever. But there's a part in here, and this is what's pissing me off about the CHP report. I don't know who swayed them to push the information that they did, but they are trying to base their tire tracks off of data from the 21st, 22nd, when did they come back? The 9th of the next month, I think that's what it was. Don't quote me on that because I could be wrong. And they chose the latest date. And I'm about to show you why I think they chose that latest date. So this is CHP's footage, which there's got to be more than this. I'm sorry. They sent me 3 videos. And okay, so you see how the crosshair has an X in the middle, and it's tracking the movement of this duck. I don't know how it's saying that this duck's going 18 mile an hour, but whatever. What up, CB? How you doing, baby? All right, so just have a little look-see here, okay? And I'm gonna convert this into a video. I'm working on it, but I just kind of want to show you guys what I see. And then I'm gonna go back into Filmora, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of zooming in on all these areas. Look, y'all. If Kylie Rodney, okay, you have to understand, this is August 9th. This is 2.5 days after she allegedly drove herself from the trunk of her CRV into that lake, okay? If this little girl would... Yeah, I did say the duck is going 18 miles per hour because this is what this technology was trying to tell me, that the duck was going that fast. Then there's no way. No, you're not. You're not. No. Nope. That's exactly what I said. That duck is going 15 mile an hour right now. I know people think I'm crazy or stoned. I'm just pointing out what the technology is telling me based upon... This technology is more made for police chases, finding heat indexes in like the woods, which is... This is what's really odd for me, okay? We're just going to chit-chat. I'm going to start telling you guys what I think, because I don't think I do that often enough. All right, so you're telling me that they're looking for this girl, okay? This is the story on the 9th that they're telling us, that this little girl was abducted, okay? Why come they aren't using this technology to, I don't know, look at the sanctuary? Where's that footage? I'm gonna try to get that. Because you know, like if you look at these timestamps on these 3 little clips of video that I got, something wrong, you know what I mean? Based upon the flight pass and what days they were at Prosser, like there's so much footage missing, and they do this shit on accidentally on purpose, you know? Absolutely rando. Sorry, I gotta put a new dip in. Alright, so what am I saying? A bunch of things at once. This technology, if this little girl was abducted or ran away or any of these things that they were telling us to be on the lookout for, why aren't they using this technology to scan the sanctuary? To scan, is it because you already know something happened? It's just, it's odd. It's odd, y'all, that they scoured this lake the way that they did when y'all was telling us this little girl was abducted. You know? Just odd. Just odd. Anyway, if Kylie would have driven herself from her hatch of her CRV into this water, and this is what I want to point out, the hillside on entry would have track marks, ruts like these, ruts like these, ruts like these donuts left, okay? And then I want you to pay attention to the damage done to her car in these pictures that I'm going to show you. Let's go, y'all. Look at all them deep, deep, deep ruts. And I'm really glad that CHP documented some of the things that they did, but there's a lot they're withholding, and I'd like to look at it. I don't know, man. I don't know why that speed is saying 53 mile an hour when they turn something. They don't have this. I don't think they have this calibrated right, or they have something on that shouldn't be on. I'm not sure. See these deep ruts right here? Super deep ruts, super, super deep ruts. Okay, you have to understand that these are marks from these multiple parties that was at Prosser Creek Lake that night. I think there was a party where we were just looking. I think was a party right ahead of us at Oil Pan Hill. I think there was another small party at the sanctuary. I also think that there was another small party, another gathering at the area that we're about to go look at, as well as Prosser Family Campground, Prosser Ranch Group, and over by the boat ramp. I think there were multiple. There were parties across this side of the water, parties all around. That's how you got your 300 to 400 people. I think if they would have put out that only about 30 kids maximum, you know, the ones that came in and the ones that mass exited, you can count them on the camera. That's how big your party was. You have 30 kids at this party that are alleging to be around Kylie Rodney that night. Something happens at this party where all of these kids are like, nah, I'm the fuck up out of here. And they went home and they told their parents the crazy shit that they saw. And you know what them parents told? You better keep your mouth shut. You know who didn't, though? Was that Sammy Smith, you know? Her having the parents that she does, the first thing that they would have told her of all fucking people, you know, the person that claims that they talked to this girl after her phone last pinged, after her location was turned off, is that good old Samantha Smith, you know? Waldo. I don't know. It's very odd, y'all. Very odd how everybody shh. Yeah. Just like that picture said. You know, the picture of Kylie half submerged in her vehicle. Kind of looked like she got in an accident and somebody took a picture to protect their asses. Something like that. I'm a sippy on this coffee. All right, so in this video, this is real time of their flight. But when we get up to the peninsula, I want to point out for a fact that there are no tire tracks going into this water on August 9th. I don't think there were tire tracks there August 8th or August 7th or the night of August 6th. I don't think that's where the car ever entered the water. But I could be wrong on that. It's also very odd that they trudged around this entire lake, and it's really odd that the areas that they're focused on to release to us, you know what I mean? Where's the rest? I want to see the other side of the water, you know, where SF documented the deep ruts that go into the water, and then you can see, like, I don't know, they're like car drag marks or something. They go under the water and in the direction of where Kylie's vehicle was found. Like, I'm not law enforcement. I didn't go to school for this shit. And I can look at all of this data and see something very wrong here. Something very fucking sinister happened to this little girl. You know? Something happened to this little girl. Whether it was a prank gone wrong. Absolutely, Jade. Okay, right here. Okay, this is the odd part for me, okay? Is this helicopter, from the time that it leaves the Alder Creek entry into the water, do you notice how it's focusing? It's paying attention to the fucking duck in the water. It's giving you enough time to ingest the fact that there's muddy tire tracks left behind from a party that happened Friday and probably Saturday. This looks all around, takes its time looking around, and then when you get to the area of the peninsula, okay, which you guys have to understand that 3.5 foot of shoreline loss is really not that much. Okay, so I'm going to pause this right here. And I know that many of you guys cannot, and the reason why I'm going live on OBS, which I will be using a lot of OBS on this channel, and then I went back to StreamYard free, because, look y'all, they tried to inflate my prices from $10 a month to $44.99, like that. Charged me, and I was like, no, I would like a refund, and I think you're going to need to cancel my account, because one y'all didn't even inform me. She was like, oh, you should have got an email. Nope, not in my spam, not nothing. I didn't get a pop-up. I didn't get none of those things. I ain't paying $44 for something that I can use for free called OBS Studio. And in my opinion, I can do a lot more with it. The only thing I can't, oh, I can, I just don't feel like turning it on, is putting comments up on the screen. And I can't have people on panel, which is also fine. But if you look at this, this is August 9th, y'all. August 9th, okay? I'm gonna go back a tiny bit. I know it comes back and it focuses on it. Plus, I slow it down to where we can see it. I changed the colorations and everything, so everybody gets an idea that there are not tire tracks going in that fucking water. And then I'm also looking at the damages on the car, and a car going in that water, which is also crazy, okay? They're trying to say that she was going excessive speeds. If she was going excessive speeds, her airbag would have deployed. I think it's above 10 or 15 miles an hour. Your airbag will deploy. However, y'all, I found something. I didn't find it. It was sent to me. A picture of this device that's in the back seat. We're going to get up to it all tonight. I'm probably going to have to pause and go potty, and we'll come back and we'll just have chit chats, things that I'm noticing, my personal opinion on it. At this point, y'all can call it speculation, you can call it whatever it is. This is just my opinion based upon information that I have obtained from the internet and law enforcement, and I am basing my judgment off of what they're not saying, what I see. But if you give me a minute, I just gotta go potty. And then we'll come back and we'll get right back to this. So, I can't play that because if I do, we're just gonna do like a little music. Here, we'll do this. Oh, you guys should see the video I'm working on. Actually, I'm working on like 3 videos all at once. But I'm doing them by date. I'm throwing what needs to be in there. Yeah, I'm basing my judgment, my opinion off of fucking logic. Absolute fucking logic. Ooh, let's listen to some Kylie. Alright, I'm gonna mute and I'm gonna play this and All right, y'all. I'm back. I went potty. So I've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes always. Just so you guys know, Filmora has been doing some phenomenal updates to their AI system. Like I said, I'm a fan of AI. However, there's just some advancements in AI that just don't need to be happening, like robots and shit for your house and all that crazy shit. But the Filmora now has what the hell is it called? AI voice removal thingy, which takes the AI, it breaks it down with just the audio, which is odd. Some of the conversation that's going on, wow, she's singing here is odd. I'm just saying. But you can hear like the mom laughing in the background, the dad saying some things, the guy doing like accompaniment every once in a while with Kylie. But I was able to single out her voice to where I kind of age progressed it, and it sounds like an older version of her singing the song, which it will be included in the August 21st video that I'm working on. It's gonna be a lot of information. It's pretty much gonna be all the information that was released on August 21st while going through the fire cam stuff. And what I'm doing is taking footage and aligning it with the proper time frames, which I do have some questions for AWP, because y'all got to Prosser the night of the 20th, and you stayed overnight, and you awoken to hot air balloons at closer to 7 than it was 6 a.m. But not saying anything on that. It's just odd that if we were released with only I don't know, how long was that murder or accident video they released? Was it 40 minutes long? Something like that. I don't know. It's just, it's almost like, I don't know. There's a lot of gaps in the time frames. I don't know. It's almost like they knew they were going to wait for law enforcement and they needed to record certain shots, or there's just so much more to how much was recorded that it just seems like the videos like overlap and seem kind of impossible for the time frames. Like I'm noticing that but then again, the fire cam is sped up, so I'm not accusing the boys of anything. It's just it's really hard to align the times with the timestamps of like their scopes. That's why it was really important for me for this LiDAR video to have like the timestamp and stuff like that, because I want to make videos from August 6th to August 21st. What videos that I was able to compile based upon the data of the fire cams, and I just want to get the data that goes along with it and put them in videos. This is a really important one though. Okay, so if you look, you can see right there. Okay, look. Where are the fucking tire tracks, okay? So, based upon 3 days of water leaving this area, I'm going to say max, because based upon the height of this guy and the angle, I'm going to say where you see this muddiness is how much the water depleted. 3.5 feet linear. I don't think it's any higher than this. And these marks here are not, that can't be a vehicle. Like this can't be her vehicle. This can't be her vehicle. None of this up here, like, I'm even kind of like trying to explain to people like between this shrubbery here and this shrubbery here, and them claiming on the 21st, because the water depleted to like down here. There's no tire tracks. So what I wound up doing, because they focus on it for a split second. And it's almost like, this is why I fucking hate the media. I hate certain things. Like, it's almost by the 9th, they're already trying to sell us this story that, yeah, guys, me and a group of, I don't know, 144, 150 agents all put our noggins together. And this is the best scenario that we came up with, is this little girl, we're going to blame her for her own tragic demise. Meanwhile, there's no fucking tire tracks of any kind that imply, based upon the damage to her car, never mind the fact that the vehicle's in neutral and that she's traveling at high fucking speeds. Where are the tire tracks? It didn't rain so much that they washed away. And here is why. We have footage from August 6th. Okay, 7th, 8th, and here is the 9th. These tire tracks, these ruts that are over here, they never change. The only thing it changes is by the 21st, because the water has receded as much as it has, they started to dry out and concrete there. And that's why you see so many tracks under the water, is because those are old tracks. Because this water, when you actually look at, and I like the way CHP painted the picture for me, at least. In one of the things they released, they have Google Maps as like the overlay, and then show you like this in a small frame. What this water looks like when it's drained, like when I mean, it's max 60 whatever feet depth, is taken down to like max 20 feet depth. It's where's the tracks, y'all? Anybody? Come on, CHP. And then what's crazy here is, look, y'all. There is no car in this water, okay? Even if this receded down to, we'll just say here, okay? And her car, like, where's her car? There's no dark spot in this water whatsoever. No car. Okay, even if it is 200 feet out from here, there's no car there. There's no car there. And at this angle, with this time of day, and the fact that you can see so much detail in this water, especially when they're looking down. So I stopped it here and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take that little clip of where they quickly pan up and just change the colors in it to see what it highlights, what it darkens, any of those things. We're never going to see a car in the water, though. Why? Because I don't think it was there yet. But what we are going to do, okay, is I used multiple different types of, I guess you would call them lens effects, just so people can get a real idea of what areas are super traveled here. And if you notice, like, the black here are all the paths that these people drive along this water. And a lot of people, you can see the path here, where a lot of people drive to the water's edge to put their boats, kayaks, paddle boards, whatever, what have you, in this water. And I just do it on repeat because you can even see these tire tracks. But here's the problem I have. Where's the tire tracks to go in the water? Where? Should be such a deep fucking rut for this impact that you're trying to sell us on this car. Don't worry, I'm gonna spill some beans tonight on my opinions on some things. Okay, you can see the bushes are more in purple. like lavender. It's just, this is the type of video we should have been released with from CHP. Multiple different FLIR. Okay, and before anybody's like, oh, that's her car right there. No, it's not. This is clouds, clouds, clouds. Let's keep going. Yeah, leave your DNA on your own stuff. Hit that like, please. Like, look at all these paths. They're black. You can see them all, plain as day. Okay, then I did the next filter. Just to point out that there are no motherfucking tire tracks going into the water on August 9th. And they should be, okay? So for this one, deep rutted stuff will be super bright white. Like you can see this, that track that I stay focused on. And then this runoff that goes into the water here. And then the dry tracks are black. Okay, let's keep going. No tire tracks going into that water. Okay. None. I did this like 7 or 8 different times. No tire tracks. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. What you do see, though, and I'll point out in a normal video, is these tire tracks that go here, they come up here along this and they turn around up here, which matches the fire cam. No car. Next one. I just wanted different color sources, I guess you could say, just to see what would be highlighted. So then this one, I know it's hard on the eyes. I apologize, but there's a reason why I did it in this color. I'm super sorry. Do you see all the red streaking? All these red streaks of tire tracks. Okay? Because they're dry. The wet area over here is highlighted in green. Anything that is organic growing or damp is going to be green. Okay, you see how deep this rut is right here? Even all these turnaround points, like, so let's just base it on the fire cam. I think the fire cam footage is one of these paths that drive up over top of here and come up here and turn around. I think one of these is your fire cam vehicle turning around. Who's to say that this one isn't it and they didn't drive down here to get down over the hillside to make it look like it's something it wasn't? But there's no prints. Where? Where? Because you're telling us that she straight beelined it straight from here into the water, and it resides like right here. Based upon this depth here, yeah, you would be able to see her car right here. Right above the geo point. All right, let's keep going. Anybody see any tire tracks going into the water? Anybody? If you see tire tracks going into the water, put a 1 in chat. If you believe that there is absolutely zero proof that there's so far in anything we've seen tire tracks going into the water, put a 2 in chat. It makes me wonder, like, if some of this stuff that's floating in the water isn't from her. Well, it can't be from her car because it ain't there yet. Never mind. Some of these are ducks, though. Them ducks going fucking 18 mile an hour. And it's crazy because all law enforcement went to the last points at which Kylie was seen alive. And y'all didn't see no car. Well, that's crazy. Y'all haven't seen no car. And why didn't you point out the fact that there are no tire tracks going into the water? Why didn't you point out the fact that a tow truck driver came forward the next day? Said, yes, I did a battery service call on that car. It was stuck in neutral. And you got Miss MC coming out on these YouTube streets. If you think about all the stuff that she said, which I am going to be putting clips of certain things she said to go along with this stuff, because it's almost like she's trying to explain things away. Like she's MC altering you, like manipulating the situation, just like she tried to manipulate that chick across the water that saw car lights turn out and get close to the water. She says it 3 times, 4 times, before Megan starts trying to twist her words into her, and then she at one point slips and kind of agrees with her. Yeah, I saw a car go in the water. And then she goes right back to, but I never saw a car go in the water. I saw headlights get super close to it. Just like, then she tried to say about how kids were jumping on the car. It's almost like you got to sell us a story to explain away why this vehicle, and when we look at these pictures, and when I point one thing out to y'all, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Actually, I'm going to point a few things out. All right, I'm going to skip forward on that. I'm going to skip to the next one. And then here's this one. Okay. You can clearly see the more beige, coppery, yellow, turns into like copper here, then black, then back to copper colors. You can see all of the tire tracks. I mean, you can see how much people cross here. You can tell that this drains at some point, that kids do. I mean, I've seen the videos that I've seen. What these kids do out here is crazy. I don't know if it was some type of off-roading prank that they did to her and caused an accident or something. And then here you go again. Like, where are the tire tracks going into the water? You're not telling me that it rained and washed them away. Because the fact is, if it rained enough to wash these tracks away, it would have washed all the tracks away at the very beginning of this video. It would have washed away the tracks that are on this hillside, 2 of them. It would have washed away the majority of these tracks everywhere else too. I don't buy it. There are no tire tracks going into this water. And it's crazy because instead of them, I think they didn't use this footage in their final Kylie Rodney report. I think they used pictures of the other video from the 21st because somebody drove that whole shoreline there, and then they did that cut around, and then from everybody driving in here, check it coming down here, getting fucking stuck and crying about it, and then fucking turning around and causing ruts there. Like, I think they used the ruts of all the other people that came here from the 21st to explain away or blame the victim for driving into this water, when we have footage right here from August 9th that shows us there are no tire tracks going into this water. It bothers the fuck out of me that nobody in law enforcement is doing this little girl any type of fucking justice. If you can't do your job 100%, then your department needs audited. Because based upon these freaking lists that people are on for doing no good things, and then you look at the coroner and some of the botched stuff he's done, but also, like, it's almost like he couldn't stand behind the autopsy and why he signed it off on blue, so he didn't have to. So it'd be null and void. I don't know, I can only base my opinion off of what information they're willing to release. Because none of it yet has explained a fucking accident. And that this was in any way Kylie Rodney's fault. Sorry. Y'all couldn't even figure out what fucking hoodie she has on. Which is really weird to me. You got fucking Waldo coming to the forefront to tell you all these details about everything. She could tell you the details of her fucking belt, but she couldn't tell you what hoodie she had on that night. That's crazy. That's crazy. She had to rely on conning kids to be alone with her in a fucking trailer that was tapped. Okay. For her to come forward some days later with one hoodie, and then how many days later with a whole nother hoodie. It's almost like you guys are letting the prime suspect overwrite the truth of the story. It's bothersome. Well, that's the thing, is this is the problem that I'm having, Peg, is you have no water in the lungs with a drowning victim. You have no tire tracks for entry in water. Nothing about this investigation shows that this little girl drowned. Nothing. Somebody made a call or came up with the brilliant idea to lie. Somebody came up with the idea to be brilliant so that nobody got in trouble, to just tell on the innocent girl. Based upon your autopsy, she didn't have enough alcohol in her body. But then again, I don't trust that as far as we can read it, because I want to know why Megan would put out there, or anybody would put out there, there would be a possibility that she might have cocaine or other drugs in her system. You see what I'm saying? It's very odd. And then if you look at the actual autopsy, or the toxicology, I should say, and you actually look at what... So they give you a list of a panel of what they can test for, but then when you actually look at what they actually tested for, that means they didn't test for, like, GHB, synthetic fentanyl, heroin, any of those things. They only tested her for things that they could blame it on her for. But the lie detector determined this little girl wasn't drunk or under the influence, nor did she have water in her lungs. And from this investigation, there's no tire tracks leading into the water until after the 17th. But it's not. Who has a boat? Why were the fire cams purposely turned away from Prosser Creek Lake, Prosser Creek Reservoir, whatever you want to call it, on specific days? And then that was just another, this here is the raw footage yet again. All I did was brighten it up to see if we could see into the sea. I mean, you can see in the water in spots here, but you just can't see a car. And that's, like, when you come up with a unanimous decision that nobody, with all the technologies, the sonar, the fucking ROVs, like, people diving in this water, like, nobody saw a car. Nobody saw a car from August 7th to August, we'll say 15th. Well, if nobody saw a car in there in those time frames, you never thought, unless you're part of the problem, see? A lot of corruption going on in fucking Placer and Nevada County. That's for sure. It's crazy, Peg. It's crazy. And nothing about her case is organic. Nothing goes together. There's so many fucking red flags. Like, look at all these lines. Look at all these ruts. Look at... Look at all them tracks. Not one going into the fucking water. And she didn't go airborne. She couldn't have been going that fast because her airbags should be deployed. Like, y'all fucked up covering this up. You should have at least deployed the airbags in the system. It's alright, we're gonna touch on something tonight. It's probably gonna get me some threats, but that's okay. The information that I stumbled on tonight sounds like her vehicle was pulled by another vehicle or something. Just stay with me. You'll see what I'm. Miss J, what you doing, girl? I know I saw Tasha pop up in here. That's what's up. Look, there's a nice little crew here. Y'all, look at these tire tracks everywhere, okay? There are no tire tracks going in this water. None. No matter which way you try to manipulate this, I can't get the tire tracks that they're claiming from the 21st footage look, if you're claiming those tire tracks are her vehicle going in the water, then there you go. Somebody put this car in the water because they're not there on the 9th in your own footage. There you go. There's enough reason to reinvestigate this based upon the data that you have that you're not releasing to the public. You know this little girl didn't drown. You know this little girl didn't do it to herself. At the cost of what? Protecting your own kids' futures? Like, in what? And the only world that this exists in is what's going on in politics right now. That is, and I can't even say it's politics because it is just a fucking elitist global banking agenda. It really is. People that think that they have this money and power think that they can protect their own kids by throwing an innocent victim under the bus. And it's sad. It's sad that this is what they did to Kylie's name on her death. I will pick this fucking investigation apart until they tell the fucking truth. I can't wait till I can get some freaking other autopsies under FOIA. That's what they're doing. They're protecting their own children. Look at y'all, see all the shit talk that's going on about SF on the fucking X right now. Oh my god, dude. So many people are fucking ripping him to shreds right now. Supposedly, he got fucking schwasty and got on a panel, I guess, last night and just botched a whole nother case. I don't know, people are calling him out on fucking X, and it's great. I've been watching people reposting shit and commenting on shit, and it's wonderful. And that's why if her family cared about her, they would get away from SF and find an investigator that actually gives a fucking shit about this little girl. Like, if SF was such the great investigator that he is, I mean, look at how he explained away how fucking Riley Strain's pants somehow came off, but his boxer stayed on in that rift of that water. Like, I just can't. I can't. Like, I really want to believe people's words that he's just doing so great for other cases. I haven't seen it yet. I just haven't seen it yet. I really You know what I mean? This dude's getting reward after reward after reward. And what is he really fucking doing? Patting himself on the back the whole way that he's going and getting involved in these cases? Like, what is he really doing for these victims? Because if SF was truly here for the truth and exposing this cover-up that happened, I mean, he would have exposed the fact that he recorded what he did with his fucking drone and compare it to all this. Like, he has such all he has, I don't know what type of power he has or who signed whatever over to him, because he's the private investigator of the Kylie Rodney case. Okay, Mr. Big Shot, if they've given you power of attorney to get unredacted, you weren't even licensed in the state of California at the time of this, so I don't understand how you can claim you were pro bono, but at the same time hired by the family, but you weren't licensed in the state of California yet. So I have I have questions too. Why didn't you get all this evidence, all of these scans, and compare it and see that there's no car in the water, there's no tire tracks? Like, you're just as bad as them making these excuses for the shitty ass investigation. It's great that they've documented all this stuff, but they did not use their fucking logic. I don't know if money has swayed them, because it looks like people are getting, I mean, look at Nick Tow Truck Guy. You either get threatened, look at AWP, you get blackmailed or silenced. And if you do good by the Truckee way, then they'll give you diver's license, then they'll give you rewards, then they'll give you grants, then they'll give you MRAPs, then they'll, you know what I mean, like give you better jobs or get you certified here or there if you fall in line to their fucking corruption. And it's terrible to see it happening. I don't trust that man. I'm sorry, I don't. Just because he's licensed in a state or two does not make him a good private investigator. I'm sorry, it doesn't. What would make him a good private investigator is to go back to his roots. When he first started talking about Kylie Rodney's case and how he was sussing out Jagger and Sammy, even put their names out there, just like Doug from AWP and Nick Tow Truck Guy, both pointed at Jagger. And then you got Sammy Smith that had a phone call with a allegedly already deceased girl. You got one that law enforcement, for whatever reason, after 3 interrogations said, no, he's not a person of interest. But the biggest person of interest, the person that story changed, lied so much, had this woman coming out here obstructing justice in the name of her. You let this woman, she was a legal adult that has the parents and the status that they do in that town, run this investigation. She should have been your prime suspect. Don't want to make her mommy and daddy angry, huh? Don't want to not get those federal grants, huh? This makes me fucking sick that they'll shit on deceased babies' names just to get ahead in life. This is my favorite. See how dark that rut is right there? See how dark this rut is? See how dark this rut is? See how dark these ruts are? Even this runoff here. I don't know if this is a runoff or old tire tracks, but you can see like a line here and a line here, and it continues in the water. When you watch the normal footage, you can see all these ruts going down into... Where is the tire tracks? Where? Where? Show me, please. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I think my dog is trying to pop her fucking cushion donut thingy. Nova, do not. I hear you. Okay, which one we were on this one. All right, hold on. I'm gonna let this play, and I gotta go handle her. Baby girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you trying to chew that off? No, you're not. No, I see what you're doing. You're trying to chew it. It's all soft and wet. Don't do it. Come on, come over here. You want a piece of duck? Want some duck? I'm gonna get you duck. You want this? Well, now. All right, where were we? All right, so I think I've shown this enough times that people get. Okay, so I'm going to show you some crazy shit, okay? So this is where the video continues, and I left it at normal speed. I left a break in the video so you guys see what I edited, which is all the middle. All of this is raw footage. And you can see, like, the depth of the water. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but you can see the depth of the water. Here, I'll pause it, okay? See the depth of the water? See how much just drops off? So, like, this is... I'm just gonna point it out since, like, it's annoying. Okay, so this is the side that they're alleging that her car went in. This is where, like, the deep ruts are, blah, 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 blah. This is where the river comes in. This is where they cross over here. Is Prosser Family Campground and Prosser Ranch Group, okay? Yeah, this is August 9th. You ready? You want to see where I see tire tracks? It's only in 2 major spots. You ready? There are 2 sets of tire tracks. See them? See the tire tracks right here? See them? See all these tire tracks getting awful close to the water? It's crazy that there's 2 tire tracks there, though. Anyway, let's keep going. It's just odd that they waited. No, it's not. I can't even say waited. It's odd to me that the only footage that they're willing to release is like this weird, I don't know, cloud-covered day. Yeah, and it's crazy because old Sam Brown's talking about muddying up the water and shit, but this water's crystal clear. Like, I've been doing a lot of research in all of the reservoirs in California. Actually, even into, like, Nevada and Arizona and stuff like that. Like, their water retention. And just looking between this footage and the pictures of her car, like, there's little simple things that I'm noticing. Like, up here towards the boat ramp, there's this weird film thing happening. Oh, look, a boat. Which means Placer County Sheriff's Office has their boat on the water on August 9th at 3:22, while CHP has their helicopter in the air. And there's points in these videos you can see their ROV underneath the water. It's crazy. And then I also noticed that in these clips here, they'll show some of the search boats in the water. However, whenever it comes to the boat ramp, see the vehicles? Look, I'm gonna pause right here. So this is the boat ramp here, right? You can start to see the vehicles that are lined up here, but they don't want to show you who's here. And watch how they pan the fuck away once they realize that there's vehicles parked all up on here. Okay? They're like, oh shit, boat ramp, better look down. And they make sure these vehicles are out of view. Look, based upon even your own footage, Miss G, I can see. Here's the weird in the water. Like, what is this? Like, what are these? Is this the air bubbles from the propeller from that boat going through? Is that what that is? It's just odd because there's a set here and a set here. Yeah, they don't focus too much up that boat ramp, which is also odd. You know what I mean? Like, is it because the FBI is up there? Is that why? Is that why you won't look at Prosser Family Campground? Why you won't show us that footage? I just want to see the entirety of the investigation. I want the proof of this investigation. I will not stop trying to FOIA stuff. I wish there were people like Plunder out there that, even if she would do it through donations, I would be more than happy to get her channel name out there. If she would be willing to take donations from us to get stuff that would cost through FOIAs, if she would give them. Her and the docket. I would love for them to try to FOIA a lot of this information for Kylie Rodney. Yeah, the Mississippi River, that shit's muddy as fuck. That's like moving clay. Yeah, I've been to a lot of bodies of water. I've been, you know what I mean, West Coast water, Northern water, East Coast water. I'm not a huge fan of Southern water, just because of them alligators and crocodiles and shit. Like, the depth of the edge of here, like you can still see under it. Here's what's crazy, is this part up here I think is, no it's not, it's the other one. So, it's just strange to me that, here, I'm going to show you another video. Hold on one second, and then we'll look at pictures. So, I'll pull this folder over here. So, this is all the CHP stuff, and then, like, this isn't everything from CHP. Pretty much what I'm doing is taking their videos, breaking them down, screenshotting like they're in their CHP report, like their incident logs, their movements, their times, because I'm going to fill all these fucking gaps in. And it's going to fall on law enforcement to have to reinvestigate this. Like, I don't care if your kids get in trouble. I don't. I'm not worried about the kids that were there. What I'm worried about is, why did you leave? Why did all them kids at the same exact time, around the time that all this shit is going down, why did everybody leave? Because from what I hear, you guys throw some banger ass fucking parties. And they last a whole lot later than a little after 12 at night. Let's just be honest. There's a reason why all y'all panicked and left. Why nobody wanted to be involved in what the fuck happened. What I also want to know is what's going on at 1:47 a.m. in the footage as well. Why nobody will speak on it. Why nobody will even look at it. Look, they don't even want to look at the picture. On top of everything that we're uncovering and looking at and focused on top of everything, the autopsy, the freaking toxicology, all of this data that's, all this information that's still coming out. On top of all that, you have a picture of Kylie that is titled Shh. And she is half submerged in water. That picture should not exist. Look, if you're telling me that she was so drunk that she got in her car and threw it in neutral and sped down a hill that left no tire tracks, and she drowned in water that wasn't in her lungs, how the fuck does that picture exist? How does a picture of Kylie that looks deceased already, how does a picture of her exist in the passenger seat of her vehicle? Her vehicle. Why does a picture like that exist? You have an investigation to do. It's not done yet. You can say, oh, this aspect of it is, but look, based upon these pictures of the crime scene, there's no statute of limitations on a felony. There's just not. I don't want to see all 30 kids get in trouble. I do not. What I want to see is at least 5 decent ones that come forward and are like, no, this is what happened to Kylie. This is who told me to not talk about it. These are the threats that were made to our lives, so much so we had to move the fuck away. This is what happened that night and why all of us kids left. Do the decent thing. Instead of saying, oh, I left after 10 minutes because, man, they were trying to force bong rips on me that I normally do anyway. You turn them scary bong rips into, oh, there was drugs at this party that we don't typically do. Your friend Sammy sure the fuck does do them types of things. She's documented it for the past 2 years. And it's so terrible that I don't know what they have on this family, what type of manipulation tactics they're using. It's terrible that her family does not see. Maybe they do. But it does not explain the lawsuit. It doesn't explain any of that. When I start looking at everybody's net worths, I'm sorry, but that's going to be happening as well. All right, we got pictures to look at because I'm just going through these pictures again, and after seeing what I saw on these video footages, and then coming back and looking at this car, and looking at some of the things that they've documented, some of the things have been explained away for me. But also at the same time, I have so many more questions. You're not getting any more. You've already gotten 2. No more. All right, y'all ready? Because when I started looking at these again, I was like, oh, it's odd. Okay, so I'm just starting at picture 10 because all these other pictures here, well, I'll start at the beginning. I know we did this the one day. So the damage of the windshield is super important. Also, this damage to the roof of the car, I'm going to need a little more explaining on that. This crease in the hood, I need some explaining on that. We're just going to look, okay? So I didn't see anything other than the fact there's a big hole in her window, but just bear with me, y'all. We're going to do some zooming, some looking at things. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me see if I hold control, if that'll let me. Yeah, well, okay, control will let me zoom in and out. So the first thing I noticed, like, wait, where's the picture? I think it's further. It's picture 10. Okay, so they go around this entire car. So let's start at 3. And what I noticed about the body of this car, I was an auto body mechanic. It was one of my very first jobs. I did it for years. Absolutely loved it. So much so that it taught me enough that I work on my own vehicles. I do my own work. So looking at this side of the body, you can tell where the sun has warped the lens on here. Nothing out of the ordinary. Like, everything's in place where it belongs. I don't notice anything odd in the rotors. Can't really see the calipers. It looks like a vehicle that's been submerged. The steel and other nickels and stuff like that they're eroding from the water. I was looking for like fingerprints. You can tell where somebody was fucking looking at the car, and for whatever reason, like, y'all have this set up in your CHP report. You have crime scene tape up. Okay, so if this is a crime scene, why are so many people touching this vehicle, like, and compromising? Like, you guys have compromised the integrity of everything about Kylie's case. I don't know why, with how much training y'all have, how many years you've been on these forces, how many years you guys have been doing this, like, just blows my fucking mind, that's all. So you can see a lot of where, like, people bent down and touched the side of the car because you can see the swipes. These happened after they fingerprinted this vehicle. All right, so let's go to the next picture. So things that I notice are just the shape of this car. It's odd that there's no damage to this bar here at all. Like, I understand that the weight of the car was on here. It's still not indicative of why this windshield is smashed in like it is. And also, like, this damage to the roof of the car is not. And then I was looking at the foam on these seats. We're gonna take a little journey around this car. It's almost like, I don't know if seaweed was it couldn't have been. I don't know. It's just weird because this panel of this car, it's not like the others. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can see all the grime on all the panels of this car. You can see where they used their fingerprinting dust, whatever. You can see it almost looks like algae rotted to the side of this car. I'm not entirely sure. This could be decomposition as well coming out. I don't want to think about that right now. This poor girl. But this panel, and I noticed that a lot of people have pointed this out. Mark has said it. I also noticed that Jules made a comment on how it's just odd how clean this one part of this car looks, okay? Keep in mind what the license plate looked like because they fucked up in one of these pictures, and I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad that it's there. We're just gonna point at it and say, yo, that's strange. Okay, so you have to understand the processing, how this car moved around. So they showed up on the 21st, did that shit show of removing her vehicle from the car. I think that was done accidentally on purpose as well. And then you got Frickberg grubbing up the fucking crime scene with no gloves on, been on a force for 19 years. Their best scenario was, oh, you better dip out of this fucking county for a little while, go work somewhere else. So people stop looking at you. You know, she's the detective, her number, her name, Kylie's mother put her name in her phone, Frickberg's name, Detective Stephanie Frickberg, call her. Call her if you have any tips, right? And it's just, I'm curious of what detective found this surveillance video and was like, we're going to freeze frame and we're going to take a picture of this screen at an angle and then we're going to put it on the internet, manipulate it as fuck, which I've never in my life seen a case where they don't release the actual surveillance video. Craziest shit ever, y'all. That was like the first telltale sign of sniffing absolute corruption, and that's why I just started digging more and more and more and more. Like when they released that picture of a screen at an angle of a surveillance video that they weren't willing to put out there, just like they're not willing to put the videos of her in this alleged hoodie that she changed somehow. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't even know what I'm saying. There's just so much information in my head. For real, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee and take a hit off this pipe. Smoke some grain. There's a lot that I'm noticing to the process of this car, okay? So they extract this car out. Let me take a sip. Oh, that's nice. So they take this car out, and I'm starting to build the time frame of like their movements, who gets there when. Don't worry, we're going to get the names of these officers that are responsible for this investigation. Frickberg's one of them. Okay, you got this picture of the screen, it bothers me, okay? And then they manipulated it to the point where like they covered up this girl that's stepping up onto something that clearly, like, and I think this is why they put that black bar at the bottom. The person in that picture of a screen of a surveillance video is wearing white slides with pink writing on them. You're telling us that Kylie was last seen in black Vans. When did she change her fucking shoes? Okay? Like, it's crazy that this girl's not only changed her shoes, she's changed her clothing, she's changed, like, None of this story is organic. That last known picture of a screen of a video, you guys put that black blob on there to kind of take away from it not being Kylie. Then on top of it, you didn't even release a timestamp, a date of when you allege this, you found this video. You decided to modify it and put your own date and time and estimate of how did you show me the video. If you won't, because of by law, you can't release data on her location, her GPS, any of those things. The owners of Hirschdale RV Deli don't involve me in that shit. Because I don't think they would stand by it either. I don't know how some of you people realize that there's corruption in your own town. You either, one, don't do something to expose it, or two, leave so you're not paying taxes on this corrupt policy that they stand by. You know what I mean? Like, it's unethical. On every level. Absolutely outdoorsy. Exactly. I think Sammy is incapable of knowing what love is. In my opinion, I don't think she knows how to feel it, give it, or receive it. That's just my opinion, though. Based upon the life she lives. Partying it up. The only reason why people abuse drugs and alcohol is because, let's be honest. As a always recovering addict that'll never go back to that habit, as somebody that used to have a little bit of a drinking problem because it helps them problems go away, that's all that vice is for, is to, so you don't have to look at yourself in the fucking mirror. And I think Sammy has a lot of fucking demons, and she should. She should. No matter what, everything goes back to Sammy. Everything. Everything. That bitch should be on a fucking stand in front of a fucking jury, answering questions to what led to the death of Kylie Rodney. She knows the answers. Megan knows she knows the answers. That's why Megan is out here on these fucking YouTube streets. Still, like, and that's what's crazy, is Megan is still out here to this day. Still, that's her goal, is to try to dox people that expose this shit. Or to find dirt on people that expose this shit. Well, that's fucking weird. You know? And when you look at the political corruption and the weirdness in it, and the same patterns around Kylie Rodney's case, I can't look away from it. Let's look at this car, though. All right, so things that I notice about this car is we'll look at the front in a second, okay? So on the back, you have a hitch so that you can hook up something to tow, right? Just keep following me here. Y'all are going to be like, what the fuck, when we do what we do tonight. It's all right. I have a little while in me. I'm drinking a little bit of coffee. I figure if I stay up a little bit later, it'll make me sleep a little bit more than like 2 or 3 hours. This pain in my leg and foot. I wouldn't do it, but it made me feel like I could kick a baby. It hurt so bad, you know? I would never kick a baby, though, y'all. It's just the saying. Just like I say, I grip my teeth to my skull. That's not gonna happen. Alright, so this car, right? So this is after, so let me explain the processing of this car. Let's go back to that. They removed this car at, I'm not even sure of the exact time, between 5:30 and maybe 6 o'clock they remove. No, it had to have been later because it was starting to get dark. Between 6 and 9, we'll just say. And the way that they processed this car was, I don't understand how if Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, all of these people, and this is why I don't trust the FBI, okay? The FBI came in on this case under the guise, which is odd, which I don't believe the reason why the FBI is alleging to be there. I think they help shit go away. That's what the FBI does, you know? They're real good at it. They're real good on making up allegations on innocent people, and the same alphabet agency is the type that will go in a case that to protect somebody else, they'll make it swing another way. They'll give you little pointers on how to sweep it under the rug. Feel me? So, the FBI, which is odd, that they claim that they like, I don't understand how the FBI, with all the information, with all the forensics they're able to do, the FBI should know that this little girl, they know that this little girl didn't drown. That's why in the FBI FOIA vault drop that they did, they're letting you know, we know that her vehicle moved around. Just, it's what I take from it. FBI, if I'm wrong, put your data out there. Prove this accident. Somebody prove this fucking accident. All these people out there, oh, this was an accident, she did it herself. Well, prove it. Show me your receipts, because so far, anybody that's come forward and spoke up on the matter, the receipts that they brought are in Kylie Rodney's favor, that she is a victim of a cover-up. Okay? That's from law enforcement, Megan Cole, Sammy Smith. Okay? You got this hitch on the back, which means this vehicle can pull something. If you look at the picture of Pap's video he put out there of Kylie's snow-covered vehicle, you will notice that this, at the time it was sitting there, I do believe that this was on the front end of the car, which is odd, which makes me wonder, is it the same car? I don't know. Y'all be the judge after I present what I do. So you got this hitch on the back, okay? So this car, oh, I'm sorry, I scrolled off. This car was pulled out of the water, processed by FBI, released by the FBI to CHP to take to Roseville, okay, which is odd for 2 days, which don't make sense, okay? So the way that this vehicle traveled, it wasn't like they picked it up at the FBI San Francisco office, because I think the only thing that really ever went there was stuff they don't want to even look at. It's just my opinion out there. So, in this weird 2-day period where there's no information, nobody wants to tell you where the car was, one of our awesome fucking Kylie Rodney activists, which I wish would make some more videos, but I understand why people don't. I see it. I understand why people don't. Like, the threats that are made to people that expose this shit, it's crazy to me. I don't have anything to lose, and y'all ain't gonna affect my fucking kid. I can tell you that right now. My son can hold his own. You know, fuck him around and find out. There's nothing that you can hold against me, and I know that, and you know I know that, so I'm not worried. So there's a 2-day gap between them releasing it from the time it was pulled out of the water. It was put on a tow bed, and here's the crazy part. If you look in the CHP report, do you know where they released it to? And I think that's where these pictures came from. Was a fucking wrecker yard. That's where they sent it to. Hold on. I'm gonna back myself up with some receipts. This will all be in the video that I'm making. I think I did. Hold on. Let me go through this. I think it says it in, maybe it's the whole report where it was moved to. Hold on. I know it's here somewhere. Yeah, and then I wanted to make sure I had the dispatchers, the officers' names, like, I don't give a shit. I'm not stopping until. Here it is. So, no, it's not. I lied. Anyway, it says, ooh, oh no, oh no. It says in this report somewhere where they sent it to. I forget what record yard it was, but they sent it to this junkyard for 2 days when CHP Roseville picked it up, took it there, and that's where the outside photos come from. And then they took it to another processing facility where, well, the first facility they took it to in Roseville is where they tore everything out of her car. Took cardboard and put it on the left side of the vehicle, put cardboard on the right side of the vehicle, put their crime scene tape up, which is, I mean, they're treating it like a crime. I think a crime was committed, and they know it. And I think some of the crime has to do with this vehicle. Anyway, so this is what is crazy to me. The FBI is the one that had to have taken the camera off the car and the sticker off the car. Because unless that wrecker place, which can't be possible because there's pictures of it at this wrecker place, with the sticker already removed, with the license plate already removed, with the camera already removed, okay? Then it moves on to the Roseville CHP facility, the crime scene, forensics they're doing on it, okay? Where they remove all of her properties from the car, which is like the dream catcher, her book, her manual, the Truly can, which is really fucking... You're telling me you didn't fingerprint that can? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. There's no talk about what should have been part of this investigation. Shan, do you think that the rear toe could have been added to recover? Just wait, Peg. Wait till I show you. I'm sorry, I have a lot to say. I've been thinking a lot lately. I've been doing a lot of research. I've been looking at a lot of things. I've been thinking a lot, man. I've been thinking a lot. And it's just the more that I look at this, the more it doesn't add up, and the more I just feel like I need to fucking talk about it. I need to just say it. I hope the right fucking law enforcement are like, holy shit. I don't know, maybe a private investigator that's allegedly working for the family won't be like, holy fuck. I don't even care if he takes the credit for it. Okay? I just feel like he's just as bad as them at this point, though. You know how these people dirty delete the important shit? I ain't doing none of that. I don't delete nothing no more. You guys ain't scaring me into deleting shit. Threatening me, striking me, weird as hell shit. Can't do nothing on this channel. This channel ain't monetized. It ain't nothing. There ain't no members here. There ain't nothing. Can't even get me on a copyright. I'm gonna push that envelope real soon. Alright. So you got a vehicle that was processed at the Roseville facility. They took everything out of the car. I'm going to assume that's when they took the floor mats out of the vehicle, which made me focus on some other things in the car. And then I was like, oh shit, we got to look into that. And we did. We're going to point it out. So they're supposed to be doing the forensics. That Roseville CHP, which I have a lot to FOIA through them. And I'm going to hound them. I don't care how long I have to hound them. I don't care if I have to get a hold of proper people, which might wind up costing money. But I want somebody to look into this. I really do. Something's not right. And I think the only way that Project Veritas is going to jump on board with this is if this exposes, like, specific law enforcement agents' specifics. So I got a lot of work to do before I think they'll even consider. Anyway, so while that one's being processed, all the interior's being taken out. And when I say interior, like, they removed all of the fibers, which is crazy. They removed all the fabric from the seats. They even went as far as removing this strap, which I hope to fuck they processed for DNA. I would like to know what type of fingerprinting they got off here. and what type of hits they got on it. But that's not something I can get. That's something that a lawyer would have to get or whatever, you know? All right, I got comments. Hold on. Give me a second. On first. Where is the hole where the camera was? Oh, they took the whole plate off. We can look at the one picture and I'll show you, like, you can see it plain as day in the one picture where they removed the camera. So, oh, I see what they did. So in this picture, the camera's here. Whereas, no, that's a mounting bolt. Oh, there's a better picture of this. Because right here's where that sticker was removed. And this sticker is removed from the other processing place. So it left the Roseville processing place, and now it's coming here. I'm going to assume that this would have to be like CHP, maybe San Francisco. Because I know there's 2 CHP facilities that it went to, and I think it was Roseville and San Francisco. I could be wrong on the San Francisco, but at this point, all right, so let's, well, oh, I want to let me zoom in. What? There we go. So you got the exhaust here. You got this nice tow bar, which is odd. It's very odd that in the matter of, I'm going to say anywhere between November of 2021 and March of 2022, that means that hitch was taken off the vehicle from the front and moved to the back, which is, oh, whatever. There's just some things that I'm noticing in some of these pictures that I got a lot of questions. So you have the strap that's removed, the license plate that's been removed, and that, I think, is just the housing, the bushing, the seal that the wire for the camera would come through, because this bracket, and you can tell that there was a bracket here. Let me zoom in on here. You can tell there was a bracket here because you can see the line. You can see the dirt mark where there used to be like a plastic plate, whatever the hell, trim. There's plastic trim here, and then the chrome that goes above it. Then here's where that sticker tracker thing was. I don't know, it just seems like the process in the moving the car around, they didn't trust each other, so they kept tabs on where it was to make sure things went according to plan. I don't know. Y'all are free to release more of your investigation and prove me wrong, though. You know? I've been waiting 2 years for somebody in law enforcement to explain this shit. It just seems like at some point, something from the inside of the car, I don't know if it was her body or what it was, but between Nick Wren, the underwater footage didn't have this area wiped off in the car. This was all completely, like, there was only a small area. Just think about it. There was only a small area, and I understand condensation, blah, 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 blah. They took samples, I would hope, but who knows at this point what they've done in this investigation. What I do know is from the underwater footage to the car being pulled out of the water to the processing of the car, I don't know if her body or somebody that's been in this vehicle has wiped this part. I don't know if this was for analysis. I'm not entirely sure. It just seems like, I don't know, at some point her remains or something touched the backside of this window. Because it's crazy to me, okay, how you're telling me no bacteria from a decomposing body in the back of this car, that unless something was touched up against this, that this area and this, I mean, you can clearly see where it's been wiped. Like, they wiped this way and then brought their circle around. Like, you can see that this has been wiped here. But this here just seems like something was set up against that window. I don't know. And Nick Wren's dive, only this area, because he tried wiping the window, remember? Just things that I noticed between the processing of this vehicle. Let's keep going. So then you have the roof racks, okay? So this vehicle was underwater, obviously, upside down, enough so that the angle at which this car was setting on the roof, which, look, you're free to release the redacted, blurred out, whatever you got to do to not show Kylie in the back of her car, and because that's for a fucking jury to see, you know what I mean? That's for a jury to fucking see. At the angle that this car was upside down on that slope, it's just crazy to me that the weight of the car and the angle of it being, I need to start drawing things out too, that it bent this antenna and kept it to the form, and then it kind of sprung back. I'm sure once they flipped the weight off of it, it sprung back, but it was pushed on it enough that it bent that. And I understand, because I have these same roof racks on my vehicle. Mine are, no, it's not different. The only difference between mine and hers is instead of mine having like, well, I guess it just blends with my car, because my car's solid black. All my chrome on my car, I deleted it, which is making it not chrome anymore. But the top of my roof rack's like this trim piece here, which is sturdy as fuck, is all black. So stock, they make this part chrome so that it matches the car better, I guess. But these roof racks, it's just odd to me at the angle that this vehicle was, with the damage that they're claiming that it rolling onto its roof caused that damage to the windshield, the hood, and the top of that car. Like, these little aluminum things, they should be buckled in the middle. They should be buckled in the middle, is all I'm saying. 16 days under the weight of that vehicle, yeah, those should be kinked a little bit. Just saying, those are just aluminum. And then here you go again. I think this is from decomposition, honestly, coming out of the car, because it's on both sides. Sorry, it's so gross to think about, but this poor girl. Man, there's a lot of touching going on this car. And it shouldn't have been happening. So if between the car being pulled from the water and it going to the scrapyard, it would have been the FBI that would had to have done forensics on this vehicle that dusted it. I'd like to know who dusted this car. I need to find that information out as well. Okay, so another thing I want to point out to y'all is, if you notice the tail lights, there's no damage to the back of this vehicle. None whatsoever, other than this right here, which that could be from backing up and like scuffing a guardrail. Or I think when Mom was saying that she had a couple scrapes in her car, I think this is what she was talking about. Not the front of it, by any means. Does kind of look fresh, though. Just saying. Alright. So if you look, there's no water inside any of these lenses, which is also tells you that no damage has happened to the rear end of this vehicle, which is also odd for a vehicle that, you know, floated upside down. And just, it's odd. That picture of her Just odd. Anyway, let's keep going and keep pointing things out. So you come around to this side of the car, and the seam of the door is great till you get down here. And I don't know if this is yet again from the water coming out of the car and it being a biohazard decomposition from water coming out and that happening. This mirror, I have questions about this mirror and this damage to this car. Yo, you know what this mark is? It looks like don't it look like the wiper blade made, like it's kind of like a, I don't know, straight mark. That's crazy. Wait till we look at the crack in the windshield, because y'all are going to be like, what? And I understand, like, the windshield's going to fall through from it being shattered and blah, 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 blah. But, y'all just sit tight. So, things that I was looking at in this car, and I'm glad that they went around all the angles that they did, because, like, the seats in the back are really clean. However, there's, like, this really deep red spot on this back seat. Then you have, like, I don't know what's going on this seat, y'all. If you look at this seat, it looks like algae growth. Like, same with here. This looks like some sort of algae growth, like maybe an old spill in the car or something got in the cushion of the car. It could even be old glue breaking down. I'm not entirely sure what the green is, but I'm going to assume that it's algae growth. But just keep in mind, look at the seat, okay? You see how there's like a splash that goes here and a splash that goes here, and then this like splashing motion. Like, you see how it's almost like something happened in the seat, and you see it? See the motion of it? I'd like to know what they put that tape over. What's in there? Holes. What is that? You see that? One of these seats is not like the other. Okay, you guys see this now? What I'm seeing? Oh, see that? It's like, pew, pew. See this? Pew. It's like I don't know. See the motion of this red stuff? It's crazy, right? Like, it's almost like, I don't know. Odd, right? Like, and then this here has, like, green. But this, same with this. Like, this could be the wear of the cushion, the oils off the body, and algae growing on it. But this, the seat, man. It just... And then looking at... Why did they tape that over? Somebody, anybody? Yeah, you see that dark red above there? You see that? I'm just curious if that picture wasn't actually in this seat and it's taken at a selfie angle so it would look like a passenger seat, but it's really the driver's seat. You know, the picture. If it was this seat, you think about blood loss. Remember that she lost so much blood, or there was not enough blood for them to do a proper whatevers on her, right? It does, don't it? I'm not saying that she was shot or anything like that, but damn, what happened in this? I'm tripping the fuck out too, Miss G. Okay, and then what else has me tripping out? Okay, you ready? I'm gonna zoom in a tiny bit more. Oh, I want it. Okay. Don't it look like there's like, I don't know. What's there? You see it? Kind of looks like there's two. And then just stay with me here. Either something happened to Kylie in this seat of this car, or this isn't her car. Then I'm just going to pick your brain for a minute, okay? So, I don't know. It just looks like that this, I don't know. I don't know, man. And I think about that picture, and it means that the vehicle would have been on its ass end, right? And if something happened in the seat of the car, or somebody moved, I don't know, moved a body to the front seat, and they were going to hope that they were going to make it look like she drove herself in this fucking lake. I think a lot, and I think this is why the whole case looks like it's in shambles, and that they're making it up as they're going along, because they are. It's a script. Either this vehicle was gotten from a wreck yard and this is just my opinion. And a body was placed in this, and something else happened in this vehicle. I don't know, man. It's fucked up, right? But look at this windshield, okay? This is what I want you guys to look at, okay? This damage to this windshield is not a car going in water and rolling over. I don't care at what force this vehicle hit the ground. These impacts are insane to me, okay? So you have this impact here, which is absolutely skull-shaped. It's completely round, okay? Like, it is completely round, and it is pushed out. And the reason why you can tell just this area is buckled out, see the light flashing off of here? You see how the light source is pulling down its convex? It's because this area of the vehicle is round, okay? And even if this was from them rolling the car over or what, no. This is not an impact of a car going in water. This is not the impact of a car flipping over and landing on its roof, hood, windshield. It's not. This car isn't teeter-tottering in the water because it's filled up with water so quickly with these windows being down. That this damage, this caved in, like, it's caved in here, but what's crazy is, like, the impact here. The impacts down here, this would be from weight of a car that's already been impacted. You see what I'm saying? Like, the impact here means that there was, I mean, look at that. It's like I don't know. Like this car rolled or something. When it got hit from the front end, this is the only place that it rolled and had collision. In the roll of the car, I think some of this happened. All of this happened. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. Remember this trim that I was pointing out here? So this trim starts out at about 3/4 of an inch, and it gets about 2 inches here, and then it's roughly 2 1/4 inches tall in the peak of it. So here's what's crazy. You're telling me that the damage to this windshield and the roof of this car, which, look at the shape of it. Like, look at the gap. Oop. Hold on. Look at the gap in that. If this car were to have said, okay, so let's just say it was frontal impact based upon the front of this car. And that it rolled, I don't know, down there she is. And the only point that this vehicle I mean, it could have been just luck. I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on with this car, just like there's a lot of shit going on in the camera footage. There's a lot of shit going on in the investigation that they're just not talking about. But this does not indicate that this is a car that rolled in water. I'm sorry, but it's not. But that's the thing, Miss G. Okay. So yes, when they rolled this car, they smashed this. Look, two things can't happen at once, and this is what I'm trying to explain. Okay. This car was on its roof. Then they rolled it to this side of it, busting the window with the mirror. Two things cannot happen at the same time. Like, this mirror can't bend down and kink this door and bend up and break this window. You see what I'm saying? It can't do both at the same time. Cannot. It can't be both. They only did one flip. They flipped it from the roof to the side to its wheels, and then they pulled it out. It can't do both. It really can't. And I'm going to explain why it can't do both. Oof, this window. So, and I know CHP had to have looked at this. Like, they can't be that careless that... Okay, so I'm going to explain why some front end damage happened to this car. I'm going to get to this bottom front. Y'all, I'm about to blow y'all's mind. I know it's going to be a late night, but hey, you can come back to this tomorrow if you fall asleep. All right. So, we're looking at this front part of this car. So if you look here, the seam starts separating right about here. See, it starts separating more and more and more and more. So much so that this has disconnected. You can see the hole here, the hole here, the hole here, where there's little plastic clips that clip into that. The passenger window was broken out. It's the passenger window. I'm not sure. I really don't know. This one's definitely broken out because you can see the glass. That's what happens when a window's up and it gets broken. It stays in the window frame between that little fuzzy squeegee, the seal. It's smart how they seal cars. Anyway, so let's just start from the top. You're telling me. It just seems like, okay. So when two cars collide, cars coming this way and a car's coming this way, the car that is going faster with more force, is heavier, is gonna blast the other car. And normally what happens is either the car gets pushed out of the way and tossed and turned, or it flips end over end and will land right here. You ever watch crash videos where two cars hit head on and the one car flips end over end over the vehicle that's hit it? Whichever one's going faster, whichever one has more force. And the car usually lands right about here, right? Maybe on some, I don't know, rocks and bushes and maybe pine trees trying to go. I don't know. I really don't know. What I do. I'm just pointing out what I see, that's all. Anyway, so most people don't notice that this area buckles in and then another area has a hole in it, and I'll show you in a second. Yeah, both these things can't be happening. Like, either the mirror bent down and creased this, and because of this crease in the car, it cracked the mirror the angle that it did. And they accidentally or on purpose broke this window, I don't know, to make it look like both her windows were down. Which doesn't make sense, okay? You got a girl that has thin skin. She's fairly complected. Everybody has said how she gets cold easily, and that's why she's always wearing hoodies. The time of the season is hoodie weather, especially being out by the lake. It's getting dark. Body heat doesn't help, you know. Let's just keep going. I'm gonna put some things together. This just indicates that, because just look at the impact, okay? So you have the main of the impact, which looks like it's like, and this is what's crazy, okay? You're telling me that this car flipped over underwater and did all this damage. There's no fucking way possible. You have a main impact here, and you can tell that the main impact is here. And then it shattered out this way. Like, you can see where the impact of whatever mainly hit this fucking crater here. And then it shattered out this way, shattered out this way. It spidered like a spider web, okay? You can see where the main impact is. And whatever it landed on pushed this down in and left this window intact, but there was so much pressure from the rock or whatever it landed on that it shattered over here too. The buoyancy of tires are not going to allow this vehicle to hit the floor of the water in 9 to 14, we'll even say 25 feet of water. It's not, look, we're not putting it in Lake Tahoe, y'all. Hell, we're not even putting it in Lake Donner. We're putting it in Prosser Creek that has a maximum depth of like 62 feet. Even at 62 feet, unless this bitch was dropped, and I'll say it again, I've been saying it from the beginning, unless this vehicle was dropped into that water by a helicopter at 100 feet, this car driving in neutral at very high speeds, the only thing that's going to do is cause this damage here. That's about it. Oh yeah, I got another thing to show you. Like, this here and the damage I'm going to show you on the inside of this wheel well of this car, this could be from a car going in water. Like, that is more of the impact, but there should honestly be more damage to the whole front of this car. I'm just saying, like, if Kylie drove her car into the water drunkenly that night, there would be more bottom front damage, and there's just not. And then on top of it, like, I don't know, this just seems like an impact mark. This doesn't seem like, I don't think this is the scratches, because her mom says there's some scratches on it, some dings on it. I don't know, I don't think this ding is from prior to it going in the water. This here, I don't know. Could a truck have done this to her car? Yeah, absolutely. However, it just looks like, I don't know. It's almost like this car was driven off-road and it flipped over and landed on some rocks, is what it looks like to me. Okay. She said wrecked. What? Oh my God. Look, I'm just saying, like, it is more likely that this vehicle subdued damage from being dropped from a helicopter. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying it is more likely that the damage would incur from being dropped from a helicopter than it would be to be driven into water and then float out from the buoyancy, and as it's filling up pretty rapidly with water. No, like, this window did not crack from the pressure. There was no air pocket. There's no air pocket for her to chase. There was no air pocket in this vehicle to cause this window to shatter. Like, there's no reason that you have this many impacts on this car. You have an impact here, okay? You have an impact here, which goes in. You have an impact here, which goes out, like a head. I don't know. And then you have another impact here. Like, there's multiple impacts on this car, which indicates, like, it flipped over on a rock. And guess what? When that water slowly, well, it didn't even slowly. I mean, over a fucking 3-week period of time, that water was drained pretty quickly. They opened up them pipes. There were no rocks there that would, I mean, you would need at least 3 rocks to do all this damage. See what I'm saying? Now, if we go back to the FLIR image, of all those track marks in the very beginning of it, you know, where they're doing all the donuts, and then there's like that track where it looks like a vehicle like goes off-road, and then there's like no track marks from, I really don't know. Could it have happened then, and everybody realized something happened there? Well, that's the thing, is like, I think that's why Megan put that out there. The more I think about her saying, oh, they had baseball bats and they were jumping on a car, or blah, 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 blah. I mean, either that's her putting that information out there because she knows the damage that's on this car is going to be on this car from the accident that happened prior. Remember, she kept saying it was just a tragic accident. I think a collision happened before it was ever put in the water. That's just my opinion. But yeah, this could also be people jumping on a vehicle. It would explain why there's no scratches. Someone trying to stop her car. Was Sammy driving? Did something happen? Was Kylie scared and trying to leave? Like, it just makes me wonder, if they had the intersection blocked so Kylie couldn't leave, that implicates them all, and that would explain why, I don't know, them 20 to 30 kids at that party, nobody wants to talk about it because it would incriminate them all. I don't know. Who blocked the intersection? And why did Megan say there was somebody jumping on a car and they had baseball bats? Because look, it's soft damage. That's what, like, I tried to explain this away as like a head-on collision, but to be honest, like, this impact mark would have like scratches. See what I'm saying? Yeah, that windshield was not broken underwater. No, it was broken before it went in the water. Just saying. It's a reason why chunks have fallen out and shit. But yeah, this looks like a, I don't know. Did somebody hit Kylie with their own car? Is that what happened? And then they thought, oh, we'll put her in the driver's seat and make her look like she did herself. And then, oh, fuck, she bled all over it. We got to make it look like something else. We got to buy some time, so let's tell everybody she was abducted. Is that what happened? Because it makes logical sense to me. Did someone play a prank on her and she was trying to get away and you blocked the intersection and started jumping on her car to stop her? Was somebody else in the... I don't know. She go there to see a fight club she didn't want. Maybe somebody else got their ass beat and she went to get in her car and leave. Someone sicked her friends on her to block her and stop her from leaving. I'm gonna make a video with this damage and the description of what Megan Cole said about them kids. And then you also have people that said, yeah, we were campers there and there were guys running around with their shirts off. With baseball bats, remember that? And then the other thing I was thinking about is that Jen and David, I don't think that they were at Lakeside. I think they were actually camping at Prosser Family Campground. That is the only way that they would have seen traffic coming in and leaving. And I think they had to change the story to them being at Lakeview, or they were at Lakeview and something happened at Prosser Family Campground. That's why they were seeing the traffic. This damage is not from a car going in water, though. Not this. Not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Not that. This, possibly, yes. Alright, next picture. We're only on 10. Just want to point some shit out. Okay, now do you guys see how bad this... Look at this damage. And this is not just from them flipping this car. Like, look... Let me see if I could get... Is there a picture from the side? Hold on, I know there's a picture from the side. Okay. See the impact here? You see how far up this wiper blade, like... This wiper blade sets flush. on the top part of this window here. And then it touches, barely touches the edge of what's not pushed in. See the gap between the windshield? You see how big the gap is here? Here's another angle for you. Oop. See how pushed in that windshield is? Like, here is the windshield wiper blade. Here is its reflection. See this dip in here? See how the wiper blade's touching the shattered glass here? And it can barely, it's like still an inch away, half an inch away from the fucking surface here. Plus you have to understand they have a natural bow to them. So, I mean, that's really pushed in, and that's really pushed out. This is really caved in. Like, there's no way that this happened underwater or in a flip of a car. There's not. And all that on that seat, I have questions. All right, let's keep going. Like, you see this right here? This is scratching. This, I mean, that's debris. That's would be the impact spot. Okay, let's keep going. All right, y'all ready to look at some more of these? Do you see it now? See how rippled this fucking windshield is? How shattered it is? How many impact marks there are? How far this crack comes down this way and this way. Like, this is multiple impacts to this windshield. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, okay, you see how, like, it's like this is dinged in, this is buckled out a little bit, and then like all this impact, right? Where this, you're not, no, there's no way. This car would have had to have landed on a pretty fucking big boulder. And that's another thing that's crazy to me, okay? When this vehicle was extracted, like, here's what's crazy is this wiper blade should not be bent. Because if you think about it, if this is the wiper blades in the up position, when this wiper blade comes down to be flush, like when this, it means that this is going to be resting here and this is going to be sticking up in the air. Somebody has bent, and this is not from the extraction. So if this car went from its roof to rolling on its side, like the only way that this wiper blade would have been bent on them flipping it over, like this would have to be broken here. This right here would have, because the wiper blade's tucked down in that, you see what I'm saying? Like, it tucks down inside here. I don't know, there's a whole lot of fucky going on in these pictures. You're not telling me this little girl drove herself into the fucking lake. Because if this damage is done from the car flipping and landing on it, this should be buckled too. At least this first one. From the weight. And then it's odd. Like, you notice what they took pictures of to make sure to document that? Because that's fresh. That's new. It's almost like, I don't know. See that? Here's the hole right here. Like, something definitely punctured this in, popped this in. And this is hard plastic. So that's a puncture from, I don't know. I don't think it did all that. If this car slid down, okay, so if you're saying that this car slid on its roof until it settled, then where are the drag marks? Where are the drag marks? There's no way. I have too many logical questions at this point. So this is definitely from people touching this car because this sediment is wiped. You can see it right there. Too many people have touched this vehicle at this point. You taking a picture of? That dent, huh? It's crazy, ain't it? You would just think if this vehicle was setting on that murky... If this is caused by the ground, like, there should be, like, more... I don't know. Like, how this is here, this should be all around all this, where it's set. I don't know. I just... For whatever reason, I just feel like people did this to her car. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I'm allowed to have it. And these marks, I can't tell if those are trees in the background. Like, that's what's crazy is like... No, because this is in a building. Look at the chrome here. There's a vehicle here. So, yeah. And the way that that door is open, yeah, something's... I don't know. It's like straight across here. Like something's wiped. Because you see how this is here? A lot of the fingerprint dusting. I don't know. See, like, this dent here and a dent here? Is this like a foot mark here and a foot mark here? Possibly. Let's keep going. What's so fucked up is they so carelessly processed this car, and I'm going to tell you why. You can tell they carelessly did it. So... This is the rear view mirror. You see this ribbon right here? That means whatever was here, they just quickly cut it off. I don't know if that could be smoke or not. Like, it could be overheating. This could be a hot engine. So, in my opinion, this... Like, this right here, this right here, this right here could be from the engine being hot and this being the main fold of the aluminum. The heat and then the car hitting the water could have put that color warp there. That could be from the fingerprinting dust. What I did notice, here's another thing, okay? So, from... the car going in the water, like, you have to understand, like, this corrosion that's right here, this is not, that is not from the car going in the water. This is from the sun hitting the plastic lens on here. Some vehicles are glass, and it still does. From the rain running off your lens and the light heating it, it keeps this part warm so it doesn't, this, like, acid rain build up can't happen. Like, where the... I mean, it can over time, but... And then I look at this light fixture over here. Same side. This is what's crazy, okay? Same side where, like, the damage is done to, like, where fog lights would be, but this model doesn't have fog lights. That's why the, there's no fuse in the fog light thing under the engine either. Because there's no fog lights installed in this car. But anyway, you have the damage done to the bottom bumper. You have the damage done to this piece of the bumper, the hood here, and then you also have this lens, this light housing that has been cracked in some way because you can see the water level inside the car. Like, it's still holding the water inside of it. There's a leak somewhere, whether it's inside where the bulb harness is or whatever. This is filled up with water and it's held the water. So in my opinion, the crack is above this water line. There's no water in this one. Well, that's the thing, is If she started her car up and immediately within 2 minutes drove herself into this lake, which doesn't make sense because it's like a 7-minute drive from the sanctuary to that peninsula, which don't make sense. It doesn't line up with the fucking camera footage and what time people are claiming Kylie left. It's further weird that people claim they saw her at 12:30 and 1 o'clock, but she should have already been in the water by then. And then there's also documentation that people saw her leave. They saw her leave at 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. Well, none of these stories are going together. And I'm sorry, someone needs to start answering. I don't care if it's the kids at these parties. I don't care if it's the parents of these kids that were at these parties. Most of these people that were at this party are older than Kylie. They were of age. They were legal adults. And that's why they don't want to get in trouble. Because it goes on their record. Might fuck up their school. They're in the middle of going away for college, y'all. You don't want to ruin their fucking futures. All for a little fun night that ended tragically, right? Fucking makes me sick. It's just odd. You can see the crud on here. Like, this should be fucked up. If all this damage, like, look at the kink in this. It's like this car, I don't know, like someone was jumping on this car. Because here's the thing, like, if the car flipping over underwater from the buoyancy and the weight of the engine, blah, 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 okay? If you're telling me that this damage, okay, all this damage, the hood, this windshield, and the roof, were all damaged from this car flipping over. I'm trying to explain, like, these roof racks, this part of this roof rack, this part of the roof rack, there would be damage to it. There would be some sort of damage to that. The only thing that I can think is that, I don't know. Either an accident happened where somebody else, this vehicle went off something, which, like, the picture is what I'm really having a hard time with on top of all this. Would be nice if someone knew ACC processor. Just look at damage on the car. I know. And it is, like, they don't care that they disrespected Kylie. And that's what I have a problem with. Is, like, not only did you lie, not only did you fucking shit on her and disrespect her, like, I don't know how y'all fucking sleep at night. And I see some of you don't. That's why you're still fucking doing drugs and partying hard. You know? I have a lot of problems with, it's just so crazy to me that you're all this, like, if you're telling me that this is all sediment from the car being in the water, like, where's the rest of the sediment, like, in this area? If you're telling me that this is fingerprinting stuff, like, why isn't, let's go back. Like, why is this here and this whole area here is, like, is it, I don't know, man. It's almost like this car was in water twice. And the first time it wasn't completely submerged, hence the picture. And I think a lot of the reason why this airbag module, which is odd that they tested as early as they did when they didn't think, oh, better put this shit in rice so that in the next 2 years, I don't know, you could retest it. Like, you're telling me that you tested it a few times in a few months and then just kind of And that's what's crazy to me is SF was telling us this whole time that, remember, they were waiting in queue. They haven't even got to her. They were just getting to it in like March or some shit like that. Well, then why isn't that EDR module tested by them in this report later down the road? It's like, I don't know. You needed it to be waterlogged and damaged. You needed it to not prove that either there were multiple people in this car or Kylie was never in that fucking... Oh yeah, I can't wait to read some stuff to you too. Hold on, we're gonna get through this. There's a couple of things I wanted to... It's just crazy that this is a fucking hole in this car. Hold on. Alright, here you go. This is a hole. This is where the glass has fallen out of the car. It's almost like the fucking... Yo, don't it look like the roof liner has pushed through the window here? You see that? Or is that mud? I'm really confused here. You got the wiper blade that ends here. This is a hole. This is where the glass has fallen out, I think. Oh, this picture's taken upside down. It's tripping my eyes out. Hold on. Why did you take this upside down? Oh, you're trying to sell us that this is what it would... See? Look. This is a hole. See it? Where the glass has fallen out. Yo, look how the sand has gotten in this window. I'm really glad that they documented this at least. So you can see where it rested on the... This is where the vehicle was setting. You can tell by all the sand once they flipped it over. Look. See the sand here? Here's an impact right here. Yeah, there's multiple impacts on this. Yeah, this is the padding, this is the liner, and this line here starts the visor. Here's the rear view mirror where they cut whatever off. This is not, this damages. Look at this kink. They, like, no. This is not from, there's no way, like. Do you see how many like. The kinks in this, I would love to see more pictures of this, honestly. Like, this is not from... They really fucked this investigation up. Alright, hold on, because I gotta get through this. There's some other things I wanna... Alright, let's get to these other pictures. But you guys see what I'm saying? Like, see the whole... Because here's the headliner. Here's the visor. Here's a visor. Alright, let's scroll around. Okay, so pay attention to, like, these rusted things here, and then this piece here. Keep that in mind as we work our way around. See it here? It's just crazy how many tow hitches this vehicle has. So, this is a mount for a... So, if another vehicle were going to pull this vehicle, they would mount it here and on the other side. And then this is where you would, I think, hook up the electrical, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is what comes stock on the car. Like, this is what you would hook, like, if this car was stuck in the mud or whatever, you would hook it up here and pull it out. The same with the back. The back has a little square that you can pull out, and you can screw a, like, there's just so many options of putting hitches on this car. Alright, so let's keep going. There's a lot of things I noticed about this. So in the previous processing of this vehicle, the key that's on that cardboard seems like it's a different key, because if you look at this key here, you can see that it's rusted, and I'll show you in an up-close picture, like this part of the key is rusted out. I also noticed what both of the indicators are on the car. I noticed what gear it's in, and then I'm just gonna keep pointing things out that are just scandalous. All right, so let's zoom in some more here. See the seat? See it? And then it's crazy. It's almost like, I don't know, something splattered up this way. I don't know what's going on. That's definitely not rust, because if you look at the color of the rust in the seats, that's not rust. I have no idea what that is. I don't know if multiple people got hurt in this vehicle, and that's why certain people didn't come around for a while. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Something definitely happened, though. Okay. So in the beginning, do you all remember when I think it was Zav Girl and multiple other people ran this VIN for this car that we were looking for, right? Remember, it came back that it was like Canadian made and all of these things, right? Manufactured in Canada. Well, I have you know that vehicles that are manufactured in Canada, their odometer has the main reading, and this is why I wanted these pictures for so fucking long. The odometer has predominantly big numbers on it, and it'll say kilometers per hour. And then below that, because it's not an American-made car, it'll have the mile per hour in smaller numbers. And we're just going to keep scanning through these pictures. Just point some things out. We're not there yet. It's just... if this swung in and shattered the window, it couldn't have done that too. And I just don't understand how that's like that, but whatever. Let's keep going. Here's where I want to point out. This specific car right here is not manufactured in Canada. Is that why we're not allowed to see the VIN number on this one? I don't know. But I'm just gonna... Uh-oh. What is this? Let's block that. So if you look here, you'll see the miles per hour are big here, and kilometer per hour are around here. This would be 120 kilometer per hour right here, this mark. Okay, let's keep going. And they made sure to document this right here multiple times. Multiple times. Multiple times. Okay. So here you have impact yet again, which means that this mirror either bent down or bent up. Like, it can't do both. And the impact was right here. That's why it cracked this direction and it cracked this direction. It's just odd that none of the plastic housing didn't crack. Very odd. Very, very odd. Wait a minute. He just broke it more. Hold up. Y'all see that? Okay, let's look again. Let's zoom in. There's a crack here. There's a crack here. And there's a crack here. So that's 1, 2, 3 cracks, right? Well, how come? How come it has more cracks now? Maybe it was just the way the light was hitting it, and that's why they took another picture. Or did you push on it and accidentally crack it more? See that? There's no cracks in here. See where this part of the mirror is clean? There's no cracks going through it. And then all of a sudden in this picture, oh, there's cracks going through it. It's almost like anybody that touched this car obstructed a criminal investigation. What's it called? Tampered with evidence. No, it's the same mirror. Look. Let me zoom out. I'm going to zoom out the whole way so you guys see. No. Same kind of side of the car. Because if you see here, this V, L, L, and then it says like respect or whatever the fuck it says on the side of this car. Crack, crack, crack. You can see right here. Here's that wiped spot. There's no crack going through it in this picture. Okay? You zoom back out. Ain't doing no fuckery. But when you go from picture 35 to 36, cracks appear. I'm not even joking. No cracks, cracks. No cracks, cracks. It's the same mirror. Because then when you... Oops. Damn it. Oh, man. That's what I want to show you. Okay, so you see the splatter on the seat? Looks like blood. Over here, you can tell where somebody, I don't know, maybe had fun with a marker. I'm not sure. That's what I wanted to show you. See? It's like a marker spilled here and a marker spilled here. Got neon orange and green. That don't look like glow stick or a marker. You see what I'm saying? Like, that look like blood. I'm sorry, but it does. Like, it splatters up here. It splatters back this way. And it's almost like, I don't know, someone died in this seat. That's what it looked like to me. Alright, next picture. 29. We were on 31, right? Yeah. Alright, let me zoom out so we can see the whole picture. There's indicating that it's in neutral. Which it just gets weirder and weirder the more that I look at this and point this out. There's the cracked mirror. See, it's cracked in 3. Where the hell did it go? There's the rusted key. I feel like I'm looking at this backwards. Wait a minute. Oh, we were on 44, that's why. 33, it's cracked. 34, it's cracked. 35, it's not. It's like these pictures are taken out of order. They're not in... Because you see in this picture? See the multiple cracks? Multiple cracks. Not really. And then the cracks go through it. So. Man. Alright, let's continue. And then once we get to one part, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Alright. So, a couple of things that I started noticing about this car. Like, I'm looking around, looking all, like, you can tell that the rugs were taken out of the car. Like, you can see, like, you can see the imprint of it. And then we just start getting closer, and I start tripping out once I get to, like, a certain point. So, in this picture, I was like, what the fuck is behind the fucking brake pedal? You know, like, why is there a pulley system there? Well, don't worry, because these next few pictures explain it all. Y'all ready? I don't know. Law enforcement needs to explain this shit. Like, you see this, like, spatter here? Where, like, the sand clearly stuck to something that, I don't know. It's odd how it stuck to that part and nowhere else. Nowhere else does it stick to it like that. But this little, you see this little... I keep doing it. Come on. This little fucking pulley system where you can tell somebody... It's like a newer cut because this part is all rotted, but this part is, I don't know, kind of like clean, like someone pushed it out of the way in it. I don't know. Just odd, right? These are all fresh bolts. Everything else is all rusted. Like, see the bolts rusting. This here is all oxidized. Even these bolts are oxidizing, okay? And then you look at these bolts. It's kind of odd. It's like this was put in after, I don't know, a car was pulled out of water, in my opinion. Right? Let's keep going. I got fucking questions. At this point, I got so many questions. Again, see? All this rust build up. There's even like rust building up on this part in the contact here. Rust all over this. Rust, rust, rust. You can tell what's steel. It's oxidized. It's oxidized so much that some of the rust has like gotten onto the plastic part. Which this is where all my shit is stored, is right here inside this manifold. This is the heater core area. My circuit board is inside of a chassis right in here, which is, I don't know, it's odd that they didn't use the EDR. They used the airbag module. Makes no sense. Anyway. So yeah, you see how, like, this of all things should be rusted out. That pulley should be rusted to fuck. These bolts should be rusted to fuck. Oh, you're gonna learn tonight what this is. When I show you, you're gonna be like, what? I don't even like it. Okay. So you can see like all the buildup in here. Even the carpet has buildup on it. You can tell where they removed the carpeting. See? Okay. You can even see like some rust on the, just this just seems like, I don't know. I don't even know. Okay, so look at the back of the seats. You see how clean and pristine? Look, let's just zoom in. Just to show you, okay? Rusted to fuck. Rusted. Rusted. It's oxidized. The inside of the seat has rusted so much that it's gotten on the carpeting here, that it's even gotten on the inside of like this plastic housing here. See? Look how clean this back seat is. See that? Okay, let's continue. What are we focused on here? Oh, this right here. This. Anybody know what Invisibrake is? We're about to show you. Y'all ready to read along with me? Because when I saw these cords, let me zoom out a little bit. When I saw these cords running up underneath the seat, and then I thought about that hole cut in the carpet with that little pulley system. And here's what's crazy. Everything in this car that is metal, other than things like, oh, hold on. Other than things like this that are powder coated, that have paint on them, everything in this vehicle is rusted the fuck out, right? Back of this seat's all rusted out. Anything that's metal is rusted out. You see this box as well, like that pulley that's not rusted out? Look inside. Look. Where's the rust inside here? It's almost like this was put in this car to be towed, to be pulled after it was removed from the water. Well, from my understanding, is it left Prosser on a wrecker, then was put on a wrecker and moved to Roseville, and then put on a wrecker, or excuse me, removed from Prosser and taken to the junkyard or what salvage place, then put on a wrecker and moved to Roseville, and then put on a wrecker, because they're not going to attach this to a truck and pull this car, and no, they're not going to do that, knowing that they have to take. Here's the thing, is when they did the airbag module, they went and picked the airbag module up from Roseville and transported that instead of the whole car. Why is this not rusted with the rest of the car? Like the components inside of here should be rusted as fuck, because the reason why they powder coat or whatever these type of enclosures is to stop them from rusting. The inside's not rusted out like the rest of the car, which would be indicative of this being put in after the car. So, y'all want to know what this is? This little system here that has no rust inside of it. None whatsoever. Okay. Now, from them pulling this shit off the car, rust has busted off of here and fallen on top of it. That's about it. All right. Let's learn a little bit, because I have yet to even read this. All right. So, I was curious what Invisibrake is. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Okay. Roadmaster Invisibrake flat toe brake system, right? Look, I was tripping the fuck out when I just looked at the top of this, and I was like, you know, I'm just going to save the rest of it, read it, and uh-oh. Why am I disconnected? Yo, why did my internet do that? Why did... Or if we're back live, put a 1 in chat. Let me make sure my VPN's still connected. All right, cool. Are we still live? If we're live, put a 1 in chat, please. Okay, all right, we are still live. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. I'm sorry, my internet just did something weird. Anyway, so I was like, oh, look, all the products. Like, I was starting to understand what this system is. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Here's that pulley system. And here's all the cable you get with it. Everything to hook it all up. You all ready to figure out what the fuck this thing is? All right, let's go. So I was also looking at, like, these pictures here, how it's wired up. It explains some of the fresh wiring inside the car. Like, it really explains some of these pictures. And I was like, oh, so that's where that pulley system goes. So from what I gather in just briefly scanning through this is you hook this Roadmaster Invisibrake up to a vehicle that you're going to tow. And what happens is when you push the brake on the vehicle that is towing this, it sends a message to that box to make the hydraulic pull, like a brake line on a bike, pulls on that tension line and pulls the brake in so that the car that you're pulling behind you, like freely, you ever see RVs that are just pulling a car, that are hooked up, just pulling a car? Here, let's explain it a little bit better. So there's the Invisibrake. This one's behind the back seat as well. Okay. See, it's tucked in there. That's probably where Kylie's was. I don't even think it was Kylie's, but hey, whatever. There's that little hydraulic system with the little tension cord that goes underneath the seat, underneath the carpeting, and then you tear that hole in the front of the carpet and you hook it up. Well, then I was like, whoa, this is explaining a lot of things to me, right? Y'all ready for this? So when you look at these pictures of this car, let's go back to the front of it. That key, though, key is rusted. Where's the front of this car? Front of the car. Front of the car. These right here. See this here? There's one on the other side, too. See? One here. One here. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. Here. 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 Okay? Back to this. So then when you look at this picture here of said vehicle, look at that. See that? See what that is? That's how you hook it up. Some install buttons, which I wonder if this button is somewhere in. I would assume because it's not to travel with, this isn't installed in Kylie's car because it was just a quick. See, towing, see that? And then you just hook it up to whatever if you're moving, if you're traveling and you want to pull your vehicle, you hook to the brake sensor in your one vehicle to send a signal to this vehicle that we're going to brake now. Didn't somebody say that when it was in Washington, it was towed behind an RV? I'm not entirely sure, but here's the thing. Why isn't that box rusted out? Why isn't that pulley system got some sort of rust on it? Why don't the bolts have some sort of rust on it? I have questions. And then here's the other issue that I have with that story, okay? Why would you, okay, if you look at the snow picture, there was already a tow hitch on the front of that car, which would indicate that that is what tow hitch they use to pull that car from Washington to California on a trailer or behind their RV. So, how is that picture have the tow hitch on the front and this isn't there? See what I'm saying? Just an observation. My puppy is snoring like a fool. Okay, so the Roadmaster flat tow brake system, it is a brake system. It is air brakes, hydraulic brakes made by Roadmaster. It's plug and play. This permanent system gets you automatic braking and a one and done installation. It has an actuator box it installs out of your way under the front seat. It's adjustable pressure setting for comfortable braking, and it charges your car battery while towing. Crazy, right? Can be adjusted from 5 psi pressures to 80, depending on how quick you need that car to stop behind your trailer. Okay? Do I need a braking system for flat towing? Here, I'll even zoom this in. Ooh, I'm starting to hurt. A braking system is a must when towing a vehicle behind your motorhome. Without it, the weight of the towed car can create a safety hazard. But here's the thing, like, exactly, Outdoorsy, like, why wasn't that Roadmaster box pulled out of the car when they processed it? They did everything else. I mean, they tore the fucking fabric off everything. It's odd. It's odd that they made sure to leave that in there and take pictures of it. I don't know. Oh, anyway, so, and it affects the warranty of both your car and your motorhome. Most states legally require a supplemental braking system, so if you don't use one and you end up in an accident, which is more likely since your RV takes longer time to come to a full stop, your insurance and liability headache just doubled. You also won't have any breakaway system if there's an accidental disconnect. There's nothing to bring your car to a stop. Look, there's no reason for Kylie's car to have this in it. Especially given that picture of the snow-covered car that already had a front hitch on it. And there's no indication that this is, I don't know. This system will apply brakes to your towed vehicle every time you hit the brakes of your RV. It will detect the brake light signal from your motorhome and trigger the system setting you pre-programmed. It's about pressure settings. Most often, the Invisibrake actuator box installs beneath the driver's seat of your towed vehicle, neatly tucked out of your way. You can, however, install it anywhere in your vehicle. A bracket and a cable pulley will install on the arm of your vehicle's brake pedal. This will not interfere with normal brake function and does not have to be adjusted or removed. There will be lots of wiring to do as well, which is crazy because when you look underneath the hood of the pictures of the car, this is disconnected from the battery. Which is odd, because if it's disconnected from the battery, maybe they left it for the mechanic to take off. I don't know. I'm really trying to explain things away, to be honest. It's so sad. Anyway, so I checked down here, and if you click, I know there's somewhere here, excuse me. I know it's on, her car's listed on here. I might have passed it. Maybe not. Dude, where is it at? Oh. Okay, let's go up one. Honda Odyssey, Honda HR-V, Honda Element, 1997 to 2014 Honda CR-V. Yo, what's this? Huh. Let me see. $1,175 to put this system in your vehicle. But how come the recommended system? Okay, there it is right there. See this picture? Oh, you won't let me see this picture. That's a bummer. You can see it here. In here, it has the thing sticking out. Anyway. Back to this. I'm gonna see if there's anything else on this. I'm just pointing things out that yeah, it's odd that it's not rusted, Katybug. Like, that's my biggest issue with this towing thing being in this car, is I would assume Pat put it in there to move it from Washington to California. Why is it not rusted? None of it. Not the box, not any of the components inside that little box, and the pulley, the bolt, like none of that's rusted like the other bolts on the vehicle. That's crazy. 2 weeks too slow to respond. Read the instructions. Had it professionally installed. The braking system lights are working. Good price. 16 hours it took this person to install. Damn. Okay, it appears the length of the cable. This is on a Honda CR-V. This is 2014. Removing all the... Whoa! It appears the length of the cable and air cylinder are shorter than when the video was made, so an alternative location for the cable clamp is needed. The cable direction needed to be at a 90-degree angle to the pedal, which it is in that. Removing all the carpet and insulation was a pain in the ass to get a direct connect to the metal. See, and that's what I'm saying, like, some parts of that metal should be rusted. But it should be rusted, Mishti. Like, that's the thing, is like, no parts, not the box, not the actuator, not the bolts, not the pulley, none of it has any rust on it. That's all right, I'm gonna look at the item description and see if they're rust-free stuffs. Doesn't look like it is, though, because it doesn't look treated or coated or polished, or... It's definitely not stainless. Whoa, what? A little more difficult than others to install, but definitely worth the money. The only thing I noticed is every couple of hookups, you need to pump the brakes once to activate the system. And then he goes on to say, 1 year later, works great. However, if there is a short anywhere in the primary vehicle's light wiring, which would happen when a car enters water, it will randomly apply the brakes. Well, why is there not skid marks? I need to screenshot that. Thanks, Russell. Let's save that. Actually, cancel. Let me highlight that. Wow, dude. Wow. If there is a short anywhere in the primary vehicle's light wiring, it will randomly apply the brakes. Good to know. Let's go with Kylie Rodney. Let's go to 2013 Honda CR-V. What the hell was the name of this system again? Roadmaster. Review. Short in wiring. Applies brakes. Let's keep that. Let's keep that. All right, let me control F and look for rust on here. Oh, nope, that's trusting. That's frustrating. All right, let me look at the product description. I'm gonna see what the bolts are made out of. Reviews Q&A right here. All right, so let me try rust. Nope. Nope, that ain't. But I'm not gonna help. Where else? Related parts. It is crazy, dude. Alright, let me open that up. How come it's not giving product info? You know? That's odd. Alright, let me find another website that has this on it. That would be this. Powder coated all metal base and cover. See? This should be rusted out inside of it. Stainless steel and brass control valve. Yeah, this water would have affected this. So the controller goes under the seat or behind this seat, which is hers is behind me. Hers is under her seat. See, this is a wada. Dude, is that the reason why they took a picture of the brake fluid? Which is odd because if this was installed prior to the car going in the water, then that means the brake fluid wouldn't be, they wouldn't have been able to pull the car out of the water. It would have went because it would have shorted shit out. Like, I want to see what these fucking bolts are made out of. Yeah, these would rust, dude. There would be rust on it. All info. Specs. See, it doesn't even say. And there's only a 5-year warranty on it, which means that they don't seem to last super long. Anyway, let me close that. Let's go back to this. What else did I want to talk about tonight? Anything else? Oh. Hold on. There is something else that I noticed. Huh. Yeah, you see how this is rusted? There are other things I wanted to show you. Hold on. Few more things. Hold on. Where's it at? Okay. So you see in this picture, this is the wiring harness for that Invisibrake. See, it's disconnected. It's disconnected. Battery's over here. Negative, positive. Disconnected. See? It's almost like, I don't know. That's odd, right? That's another thing. This ain't rusted. Everything else is. All the other bolts in this car have rust on them. But this contact that had electricity going through it, when the car went into the water, ain't got no rust on it. That's crazy. Alright, let me zoom back out. And it's really odd that there was no oil slick, and right here she has a dipstick, so this car should have leaked oil out of it. Especially on rolling over. Just don't make no sense. Alright, what else we gonna look at? What? How does this car still have windshield wiper fluid in it? See the windshield wiper level right here? There's no way. This is not sealed. If this car flipped upside down or flipped on its side, this shit would dilute down. That could be water. That could be water. Okay, we'll just explain. We'll say that's water. That's rusted. That's really rusted bolt. The valve cover's all rusted out. Alright, let's keep looking. Oh, I gotta zoom out. It's too close, man. Like, even the hook, like the hood latch, where the hook clips to this, where the hook rubs on this powder-coated metal, whatever you want to call it, coated metal, it's rusted right where the hook would latch. See? Right there's where the hook would latch over it. See? Disconnected. It's odd. Nick tow truck guy, did you hook this up or unhook it to test the battery? That's what's crazy. I don't understand why they didn't take Nick tow truck guy's fingerprints and make sure his fingerprints are on the hood of this car or on the steering wheel of this car or on the remember that they realized it was in neutral, which is weird because it's kind of like the car never left neutral. Because that's weird. Nick tow truck guy on August 6th says the car is in neutral. Megan Cole said the car was somehow magically, she kicked the gear into neutral and it rolled into the water. Remember that? All the bullshit theories around the whole neutral thingy. And then she tried to say neutral was above the fucking park to make herself look stupid. Because that backfired. Then you have the car that is free rolling in neutral as they're pulling it out. They're claiming the car was in neutral when it went in the water. So the whole time, from the time that the car went into the water, when they allege it went in the water, the night of the 5th going into the 6th, it was in neutral. Nick tow truck guy saw the car in neutral, which is odd. Megan talks about the neutral. It's clearly in neutral when it's being pulled out of the water. And they got pictures of it at CHP in neutral. How did Nick tow truck guy and Megan know this car was in neutral if it was an ongoing investigation? How did Megan and Nick tow truck guy know that? Here's what's crazy in this picture. When they take this cap off of this, watch this. At first, I thought it was a light shine. Then I went to the next picture and I was like, why do you take an uppy-closey picture? Oh, well, because it looks like either A, there's water in the oil, or air bubbles. See the bubble here and the bubble here? What do you think? Do you think it's water or air? Oop. It's just crazy how much buildup is all. You see all this buildup inside the hood of the car, which is protected by a hood, and it's harder for shit to seep in there. But at the rear of the car, you have a license plate in underwater footage that looks like it's clean as clean can be. You have all the trim of the car that looks like it's clean as clean can be. But those are the parts of the vehicle that were exposed to the flipping and all of this shit. Like, how is there debris on the inside of the hood of the car? How is there debris everywhere? And you can tell it's sand. Like, yeah, some of this is leaves from traveling and the years of wear and tear on the car, but this is sand. This is sand here. This is sand here. Sand here. Sand down in here. Look, there's sand in here. See the lip of this? There's sand all in here. How come there's no sand build up on the back of the car? I know that's brake fluid. But I'm just saying, the brake system is supposed to be a sealed system. Like, water shouldn't be able to get in there. How is there those little, I don't know, I don't understand how there would be air bubbles in it, and I surely don't understand how there would be water in it, because then that means that if there's water in somehow seeped into that cap, like, it don't make no sense. Well, that's the thing, Miss G, is like, if Sammy, how would Sammy know that the car was in neutral that early on? Sammy shouldn't know the car is in neutral unless she put it there. Or unless she was at the tow truck thingy the next day. Like, there's no reason for Sammy or Megan to know this car was in neutral. Nobody should have known this car was in neutral until after it was pulled out of the water. See what I'm saying? Like, you got Sammy that's telling people that the car was in neutral, and Megan out here trying to explain away why it's going to be found in neutral, when neither one of them should have known that this vehicle was in neutral before being pulled out of the water. Just saying. And then I looked at all the fuse diagrams and stuff like that because I was really interested. But here you go. See, it's disconnected, which is odd. Nick tow truck guy, did you take this off when you tested the battery? Did he go there and for a tow hitch call? I don't know. I'd like to know the real story of why he was there and why they won't talk about the fact that that vehicle, that van that he went there on that call, has a front camera, a rear camera, and audio. And then this is just showing that the engine is waterlogged. There's water inside there. There's the intake. There's water inside there. Here's what's odd to me, okay, is you have all this yuck, all this stuff going on with this car. The filtration system is going to be flooded with water, yet that should have sand in both sides of that filter. That side shouldn't be the only side that's yucky, but that's just my opinion. What else? Do I have anything else tonight? Not really. I don't think I do. Oh. Yeah. So here, which, it's just look at it with me, okay? So you have them turning, like, putting this waterlogged vehicle in ACC, which is likely that they just fucked up the ACM. Why would you do that? But it's a good thing that you did, because then we get to notice a couple things. That you have a vehicle at night that's supposed to be driving. Okay, so you got this vehicle, and based upon the camera footage, you got headlights that are on. Okay, so if she's driving this vehicle at nighttime, how come the headlights are off? That's an issue. Is if she's driving this car at nighttime, and based upon the fire cam footage that you're claiming is her driving into the water, the headlight indicators should be in the auto or on position. And it's neither. It's off. This is in drive position. I don't know if this is an economy button. I have no idea. I don't know if that's just an emblem. There's so many fingerprints they could have gotten off this car, and they did nothing with them. So sad. Okay, but here's the problem that I have. Okay. So you have Kylie Rodney, that these people are alleging that are at this party, that she has 2 different hoodies on, because clearly she was fucking cold that night. So cold that she wasn't found. Okay, this is what really fucking gets me. Is she was so cold, but yet had her windows down. No hoodie on, because you're alleging she was found in a bodysuit. So she's in just a tank top, we'll say. She got her windows down. And here's the fucking kicker. Cold night. She has her air conditioner on. air conditioner, inside air, and it's blowing through the feet and the face. Chilly night, just after midnight, no lights on. No wonder why she drove into this water. She ain't got no lights on. She's cold as fuck, ain't got no hoodie on. Her windows are down, and her air conditioner's on. Y'all feeling me? It's almost like somebody had her car the next day, thought that they were going to call for a battery service because they didn't know how to drive a normal automatic vehicle, because possibly, allegedly, they're used to driving a Prius that has a different gear shifting system. And might have been used to automatic seatbelts that they didn't know how to put a seatbelt on or get the car out of a gear. They didn't know you had to push that button in to get it out in neutral. But that's also weird because Nick's claiming it was stuck between gears and why it didn't start. But that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It's almost like him telling us that there were perfume bottles in his car. You have this car that has windows down, an air conditioner on. I don't know, that somebody couldn't stand the smell of the corpse in the trunk of the car, and is why you had the air conditioner on and the windows down. I got questions, man. And I also want to know why. Okay. And I think this is why he took so many fucking pictures of this display. Okay. So if you look at this display here, you're claiming that this car is made in Canada. That's what you're alleging, that Kylie's original car. What, the white one? The white one that we actually have a picture of her in? That one was made in Canada, or this one was? Because based upon this here, park, reverse, neutral, drive, second gear, first gear, see this little odometer right here? See how it says miles per hour, and it has them in big numbers? And then down here in the real small print that goes around here, see the 80, 120, 140, 160? It says kilometers per hour, okay? I've driven enough Canadian rental cars. I also owned a car that was made in Canada. And the kilometers per hour are always big letters. Big numbers, I should say, and letters. This vehicle right here is not a Canadian car. It's not manufactured in Canada. So make that make sense. Is that why you want to redact the VIN number? It's just the damage to this car doesn't match a car going in water. The air, like, whoever took this picture made sure to make note. Look, he's pointing it out, that the air conditioner is on. Air circulation from the inside of the car. See? I think a lot is fake news, Miss G. Yeah. And then here you go. This is what really bothers me. Is the key that is on the cardboard has no rust on it. But this key does. Which is really odd because there's no lanyard on it. Remember they were telling us to look for all these, the keychain and the straw, the zoomy straw thing. Where is it? Because if you look at the picture of the lanyard on the box, there ain't nothing on it but this little loop and a lanyard string. And then I also noticed here that if you look at the windshield wipers, it's not set on, it's not set on low, and it's not set on high. It's on interval. Because you can see the little dash right here. It says interval. So why did somebody turn the windshield wipers on? Who was in this car that fucking... I mean, you fucked up an investigation. Or a panic happened while somebody was doing something to outside of her car, and I don't know, she was trying to hit all kinds of buttons to get away. I don't know. Really don't know. Or was this somebody else's car? I don't know. It's just odd that the four ways are on. See, this indicates the four-way flashers are on. This button would be pushed in as well. Yeah, two keychains were mentioned, but there's no... Neither one of these keys has keychains on it. Remember Megan saying about them kids tossing her keys around, playing little tricks on her? It's kind of weird that Megan said all that stuff. Like, Sammy told her that they were tossing her keys around and Kylie wasn't sure who had her keys, and Sammy said she had her keys. Did Kylie finally get her keys back and she tried to get away and they blocked her? I don't know, man. Something fucking happened to this little girl, and it's not her fault. It's not her fault. So this indicates the four ways are on. In the next picture, it's in between the flashes of the four ways. So the four ways are on. Now they're in the relay mode. Let me zoom back out. And then you see they're back on. Oh, here's what I wanted to point out. So, in all four sides of this car, okay, so you have hood damage, windshield damage, roof damage, and front driver's damage to the bumper. What's odd is, when you look at these pictures of the right side of the car, she has a blown shock. The bushing is even ripped open to where you can see, look, you see what I see? See it? It's almost like this car was in an accident. Or could somebody have jumped on it and caused that? I don't know, but that's a tear. Well, that's the thing, Miss G, is the autopsy proved that Kylie was not alive by the time she made it to the water. She had no water in her lungs, not in her sinuses, her ear canals, nothing. Nothing that would indicate that she died in that water. It indicates she died before. We all know this. Oh no. Shady ass van. I was even like looking at the rust on the brakes, which is weird because if this car was in water for 2 weeks, those rotors would be way more rusted than that. Way more rusted than that. And then it's crazy because like it's like raised up really high in the back. See how much mud? It's like this car was in mud. See? See how deep that is? Because here's the thing, okay? Is if you're going to tell me this car was upside down, then this mud should be on the other side if it's from it being submerged. This is more like this car was taken off-road. It's like I'm sorry, but oh, and then another thing I noticed is, remember that that picture of the wonky front right tire? Remember like how it looked like the tire was flat, right? Here's the crazy part. Okay, so this is the left rear. Here, let's go back. Let me go back because I got to show you something. Okay. This is the right front. This is the one I want to focus on. So here is the right rear. Show you. There's no valve stem on this side. Okay. Or no valve stem cover. I'm sorry. That's the right rear. No cover on it. The left rear has one on it. Here's the left front. It has one on it, which, dude, it just something is. It's crazy how this one has so much freaking residue on it in compared to all the other ones. You can tell where the brake pads were setting underwater because it rusted by the time it. See that buildup on that wheel well? How come the back of the car wasn't like that? Okay, if this is the left front, this is, okay, so they, left front, this means this is the tire that they rolled it over on its side, which would explain the residue. Okay, so where's left rear? I'm gonna see that. Let's make sure they're both, okay, there's left front again. That one has a valve stem cover on it. Oh, let's go back. Right front, no stuff. Okay. Right front. Where's left rear? Right rear. Right rear. Left rear. Okay, so yeah, this one has. See, but look, the left rear one doesn't have buildup like the front left does. See that? See how clean that is? I mean, it's got a little bit of rust around the top, the inside of the rim. A little bit of rust. But that left front, that's crazy. The left front's the only one that's all mudded up like that. And then they all have valve stem covers, except for the right front one. See? This is right front. So you can see the valve stem inside of it, so it doesn't have a. Anyway, just things I'm pointing out that I'm noticing. Both rears of the car have like these muddy water lines to here. See how much debris is on the mud flap, which doesn't make sense. You got all this debris, like this water line of mud. Same with this rear. Man. All this debris all over this car except for the back end. All this buildup. That left front, man, is just so much different. See that? That left front rim just has a lot of sediment on it. Could it be possible from them blowing stuff to the car to make it look like it was under there longer? I don't know. And it's weird. Yeah, see? They made sure to take uppy closey picture of if she's driving at night, why is her headlights off? And it's also odd, out of all the pictures, this is what's crazy. Out of all the pictures, okay, he took so many different pictures of the tires on the car. This is the only tire that was taken off the car and pictures taken of it. Left front, there's the tread of it, which is odd because don't this look like it was burnt right here? See it? Like, don't the treads look, I don't know, kind of warped in that spot. Either wet or, I don't know, because none of the rest of that looks like that. And then, like, when you look at the grooves of the tread, how clean it all is, like, I don't know what the fuck that is. See, it's like tore up right there. And that's it. I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got for now. Yep. I was starting to work on August 6th stuff because, I don't know, it's just interesting to watch these clouds dissipate away. And it's crazy because at 9:30 in the morning, a vehicle shows up on the shoreline here. And then it immediately comes down over here. And it stays parked for quite a while. I'm going to do a lot of zooming in on this. Because it's just odd how that car stays parked over there all morning long. Until the law enforcement shows up. That could be law enforcement for all I know. I don't know. I'll make the timeline line up. Y'all want to see what I've been working on for August 21st? And then I'm going to hop off here. Let me see what this is trying to run. Google Updater can wait. I never trust any type of updates or any type of intrusions through my VPN or my antivirus firewall. When I'm connected to a live, I just don't trust them. Alright, where the hell? Yep. Nope, cancel. Give me 1 second, let me open it up. Always, Anna. I want the truth for Kylie. This little girl did not drown herself. She didn't. None of their evidence shows that she did this to herself. And I think they know. We know. You going night-night, Katie Bug? Get it, girl. I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I've been working on. And then I'm going to lay down myself. Give me 3 hours of sleep. I'm definitely taking a morning nap, though, I ain't gonna lie. Uh-oh. Hold on, my computer's being a jerk. Sweet dreams, Katie Bug. Why is this taking 10 years? It's just a black screen. Why? If this loads, if it doesn't, I'll give it a couple minutes. While we wait for that, I'll show you some more of my little AIs that I've been creating. It's been fun. Where the hell is it at? AI videos. Well, you guys want to see some more MAGA ones? The MAGA ones make me giggle. I'm gonna do some stuff to them. Alright. There's that one, which is hilarious. I love it. Hold on, we're gonna do one more. Y'all. Where's the one where the nuts just fall everywhere? Shit, it was cracking me the fuck up. Hold on. Is it MAGA 8 maybe? This shit is cute as hell. Alright. It's finally loaded. Alright, I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna let a little bit of this play. Y'all can get an idea of what I've been working on. I'm gonna do some Alt-Enter. Let me mute myself. I'll play the intro of this and show you where I'm at on this. I've changed it a little bit. Alright, let me mute.
Breaking news out of Placer County.
I begin to wonder if you ever never give a fuck about me. Cause if you stop and look around, it's the transferring from me. I can't get back to memories. Tell the stories of the few times you were around. You tried to decide, but I cannot make the sound. She was in the backyard, saying it was her little past night. When her friends pulled up a white pickup truck. Her folks should have seen it coming, it was only just a matter of time. Then you old enough that you can't stop love. You stuck a note on the screen door, sorry but I got to go. And that was all she wrote. Her mama's heart was broke, and that was all she wrote. And so the story grew. And I went into the kitchen, staring out the window, scratching and racking his brains. How could 18 years just stop and walk away? A little ponytail girl would have to be a woman, and she's gone in the blink of an eye. She left the swords in the bucket and the clothes hanging on her clothes, hanging on her line.
I want to show you guys something really cool that just happened on the road. So if you can see behind me, and this morning we were awoken by some kind of strange sounds, some kind of fire sounds, some clinking, sounds of like ruffling baskets.